What's up? I don't know if I'm going to get a lot of people viewing tonight, but guess what? We're going to see how many people are going to bite. Hopefully, it's not just the only episode, but hopefully, we get a whole season of this joint because that's probably some of the most fire stuff we've seen from the Punisher in a long time. In a long time coming. You better believe it. What's up, everybody? I know I don't got anybody looking at me right now, but we'll try to garner a few viewers in a few minutes before I start initially talking. I'm going to tell you what. Shout out to John Berthel because he plays the hell out of that Punisher role, does he not? The craziest part about this is there are certain things in that episode. It may be the only thing they have, but certain things out of that episode almost brought me to tears. I'm not gonna lie, some of it did. I know I got one person watching. Let me know who you are in the chat, even if you're just perusing on by. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Charles Faulkner Jr. I'm a 10-year military veteran. I spent 18 years in Iraq, 18 months. I was with the QRF in Iraq, Quick Action Force. If you don't know what it is, Google it and it'll tell you what the QRF is. I've done 354 missions within the 6 months alone in that 18-month tour. I've done things from reconnaissance to direct action, convoy security, VIP security of high ranking military officials and diplomats, numerous building and house raids of insurgents full of weapon caches. We have done search and rescues when bases were attacked. I spent plenty of time in the MSR, which is the byways and highways of Iraq. I've seen things, I've done things, I've even done humanitarian missions giving school and house and also toiletries to kids in Iraq. We would go out nights and capture high value targets. I'm not special operations, but I worked along with them in some cases. After that, I said I will never wear a uniform again, and I was in the Baltimore Police Department for roughly 15 years. Uniform patrol, handling everything from civil disturbances all the way up to homicides. I was also dealing with the Baltimore riots during that time. I left there. I became a sergeant for two different other organizations and even a shift commander. I am the commander, CEO of Black Lion Security Firm, where we specialize in armed security, private detectives, and executive protection for high value families, celebrities, and large scale events. For example, at BlurCon, I was in charge of the safety for 10,000 patrons and patrons. I even had the pleasure to protect people such as Cree Summers and others who work for Disney, DC, and Marvel movies and Star Wars. I come from a wealth of experience, not just practice, but damn sure theory. I could probably teach some of these classes, and I have. There are some things out there in the world that 99.9999% of the world will never see. And there's 99.999 to the nth power that you probably haven't seen. The less you see, the better people like me are doing their job. What's up, Andre? Woo! There's a special kindred spirit that I have with the Punisher, aka Frank Castle. From coming from the background that I have, Frank Castle tells you the story in comics and various media that he has appeared in through the 50 years of the Punisher existing. Most people don't understand nor remember the Punisher was originally a Spider Man villain who was going to just be a one off. Because the character got so much acclaim and so much fame and so much fanfare, that the Punisher started his own going series. Some of you need to read up on Punisher War Journal and this current iteration that Disney has as the Punisher and Punisher One Last Kill takes a lot of inspiration from Welcome Back, Frank, when the Punisher comes back into the fold. The one thing I can emphasize with the Punisher is that you learn one thing, especially any combat vet, anybody who's been doing high level security, well, police officers will tell you, is that war does not end, it only sleeps. I'm going to say this again for the novice: war doesn't end, it only sleeps. If anybody have a question about what I mean by that, please post it in the chat. If you're going to come up here, the least you could do is like the subject matter. Like, share, subscribe if you're a new subscriber, because you're going to learn some things. If you feel that you're learning and entertaining, share it to your friends and family members. If you feel inclined that it touched you in either entertainment or learning, there's the Cash App and there's the PayPal and the ticker. Charles L. Falk, $ Charles L. Faulkner Jr. And PayPal, it's going to be Charles Faulkner 994 on PayPal. I am a lifelong comic book fan of over 40 years. So if anybody wants to challenge me on my thoughts of comic books, go right ahead. I've actually read the books. I'm not a Wikipedia kid. Okay? Not only that, combined with my knowledge of actual warfare, I think that people should get in tune to what the Punisher really represents. See, a lot of people think the Punisher is just a war machine who just constantly kills. This is what happens when a man is pushed too far and the system does not help him. Please hit that like button. Please share this to people. Let's get this into the algorithm. And yes, this is an adult show, so if you're afraid of certain language, this may not be the show for you, and it's definitely not the show for your kids. Because I'm going to talk to you, the listening and viewing public, from a nice sensibility of being not only a combat veteran, but a decorated cop. See, one thing about the Punisher is that he's Batman if all the events of Batman happened to him if he was an adult. It would have been worse. It would have been worse. Batman sure would have killed people if he would have had a wife and child, his parents around him, and they're all executed, and he's the only surviving member. You have to realize this one tidbit that I'm going to say again that I said earlier. War does not sleep. Excuse me. War does not end. It only sleeps. When I tell people about the provocation of security, warfare, and tactics, especially when it comes to the military and police, it does not sleep. The reason why you have a lack of respect for law enforcement and the military in this country, because only 1/2 of 1% of this country ever protects it at one given time in any time of the day. Not my statistics, that's just what it is. Does Frank Castle suffer from depression? Of course. Does Frank Castle suffer from PTSD? Absolutely. I'm not saying that people should go out and become the Punisher. Yeah, Trump didn't serve. Neither did Obama. Neither did Joe Biden. But guess what the majority of presidents did? They served. And guess what the majority of presidents did? Served during combat. Let's go back to another mute point. See, what a lot of people want to say, if you're going to come for me, come with some good shit, please. I can literally forward you some paperwork about me. There's a lot of things I don't tell you that I've done and I'm trained to do purposely. Because most of the people would never get it. Most of the people will tell you what they wouldn't do because why? They would never do it. I don't care if I got 4 in the chat and I got 400. I've actually at one time had more people in the chat live than most of the people who are content creators who got over 800, almost 1,000,000 subs. I'm an overachiever very early. Guess what? That farewell to Kevin Samuels showed how much talent that I had before I was shadow banned. I don't need to barely sleep or breathe. But I will tell you one thing about people like you. People like you, my friend, were never my equal. People like you, to this day, couldn't beat me in a fair fight. I'm pretty sure if I put the chat out, you wouldn't come to this panel, would you? Because you claim that you're a man, but you know what I smell? Pussy. I'm not going to go back and argue with somebody with a goddamn troll account. Who are you to compare yourself to me? A coward. A fool. A ne'er-do-well. A nifnon. Since you want attention, I'm going to tell you this one. I don't care what point I can barely breathe, but I can certainly put my size 12 in your ass. And there's not a damn thing you or anybody you know can do about it. And that should frighten you if you had any goddamn sense. But since the comments you made, because if you want to talk about an AI guy, okay, I'll do this for you, even though you're not anything to me. You want to see the real me? That's the real me, bruh. That's the real me. It ain't too much difference from the actual AR picture. Nifnon. Talk to somebody who actually gives a fuck about you. Do me that favor. Don't talk about the man who's doing it. You're not even good enough to troll. When you show your picture, then we can talk. Oh, by the way, says the guy in a superhero AI costume. Is that AI, motherfucker? I'll wait. Where are you? I'll get on my cell phone to go to the cell phone area. There are a lot of people who don't. We'll go to the cell phone area, man. You think I'm not with the shits? Come on, man. I'm not with the shits. Come on, man. Where you at? Like you said, Mike. Come on, man. I'm not with the shits. Come on, man. Where you at? It's like you said, Mike. Number weirdos over there. You said an AI picture. That's me in real life. Where's your picture, dude? You probably masturbating with your 3-inch dick to that picture, which is disgusting in its own right. But you want to come here thinking you're going to disrupt something because the girl of your dreams did the same thing your parents did, was ignore you. The sad part about it is my moderators don't even have to block you because you're just a one subscriber chump. Hey, Mike. Hey, Andre. Does that look like AI to you? Now, is that an AI picture? You gonna talk about you gonna do something to me? You got my real picture. Come look for me. Come find me. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm not hard to find. Come run up on me. Nah, where my homeboy at? Where my boy at? This an AI picture, right? Come run up on me. See if it's AI or not. Come on. Since you got something to say, where are you? Where are you? Trust me. That's really me. Where are you? But you want to disrupt stuff, we're going to hold the whole channel and the whole live stream for your petty ass. Run up on me. I gave you where I am. Where are you? Do I need to call my buddies to get your IP address, dude? Run up on me. I'm not going to see some pot belly pig, no girl having, no social life having, living in his grandma's basement on a mattress with no box spring, no frame, having motherfucker talk about me. Mm. Thank you, Mike. That's me in the flesh. Simps always trying to get in the way of masculine conversations. Oh, you can't talk. Yeah, there's a little congestion in my nose. So the fuck what? Seasonal fucking shit. Matter of fact, the sad part about you is my 18-year-old son can handle you hand to hand. But you probably one of the bitch made motherfuckers who would call the police when somebody yells at him. You fucking male Karen. I don't care how congested I am. Come see me. If you're not gonna do that, then shut the fuck up, please. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do you the same way every woman has done you in your life, bruh. Because we already know with such a stupid ass name that you have right there. I'm gonna treat you like your mom, your sister, your aunts, and the girl you liked in middle school. I'm just gonna ignore your ass. Oh, why aren't you here? Because it got really real? Since you wanted that attention, guess who's gonna give it to you? And it's not your daddy. Instead of coming to my channel, you need to go find him. And when you do find your daddy, if you even find your daddy, you should kick him in the balls because you were born. You should kick your daddy in the balls because of why such a sorry, infantile, non intelligent Neanderthal was even born out of his nutsack. Your mom should have swallowed you. Your dad should have wiped you away and flushed you down the toilet. Now, back to the content. One thing you find out about Frank Castle and others is that you find out very quickly that war never leaves them. Oh, yeah, that's me too, by the way. Oh, yeah, that's me too. Just like this. Definitely like this. You know why that's me? Because that's your mom, that's your sister, and that's your current girlfriend kissing all over me while they're still disgusted at you. And if you very well pay close attention, those are different shades of lipstick. Now that we're back here, the one thing you see about this one episode, I'm not sure if they're going to do more because they said it's a special presentation. I'm hopefully they'll do more with it. I'm praying to God Disney don't drop the ball and just makes this one and done episode because you got something special here. You literally have the Punisher and all his hyper violent, conflicted PTSD and depression glory. You can see Frank in the middle of a New York high rise. And you can see him doing pull ups. So much so to the point where his hands are starting to bleed even after he wrapped them. Even while he chants cadence from the Marine Corps. You can see his battles with PTSD because he's drinking a half gallon of bourbon and speaking to himself and seeing images of his own deceased family while sitting down on the crate chanting those cadence from the Marine Corps. I may say some of these things out of context to the show, but I'm still going to get you there. Frank visits the gravestone of his family, his wife, his son, and his daughter, who were all unfortunately killed by a mob hit crossfire. And he, like many other veterans, are confronted with a very heavy thing. Not only reliving the past of being a Marine as a recon, special operations, but also coping with the family he lost. And he takes his pistol and puts it to his head to take himself out, which is something very heavy to police, military, and to a certain extent, firefighters and EMTs and paramedics, because that group of people has a distinction of seeing humanity at its worst. There's a reason why cops have a relatively, if not stupendous, suicide rate. And military personnel, because you come from a place of order and many different things that are out of order, such as family disputes, people being divorced, coming back home and trying to cope when you've been thrown out there to the literal wolves to be a killing machine if necessary just to survive. And all he wants to do is get back to his family. So Frank, when he puts the gun to his head, trying to end it all, he sees an image of his late daughter waving at him, and he puts the gun behind him. He says, I'm sorry. Putting the gun back, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. No, come here. It's not what it means to be. And then, as soon as he comes back to his senses, he notices it was just a flashback. And he cries. That scene alone can bring a hardened man to tears, especially when a man goes through similar stuff or heavier shit than that. I'm not going to lie to you. Some of the stuff that Frank was going through brought me to tears because God knows I empathize with that. Not sympathy. I empathize with that. There's a reason why I got out the military when I found out my son's mother was pregnant because I couldn't risk going through a scenario coming back home from another tour and my son does not know who I am nor recognize me immediately. What's up, ABM? That shit hurts. That shit hurts. I've seen many of good soldiers and cops who had to go through that, especially service personnel. You're 3,000 miles away while your child is being born. Some are lucky enough to go back. Excuse me. Some are lucky enough to go back, but some get there after the child is born. And then you get 2 weeks to come back. It's heartbreaking. So there's many a times I look at the Punisher and I'm like, God damn, that may be the most conflicted character in all of literature. Even the character I'm writing would understand the Punisher in ways that other characters cannot even imagine. And we have to say this on a fundamental scale. Even in real life, how many men are not that far away from Frank Castle if pushed a certain way? But of course, that idiot who was on that linear, the linear version of my program, because number one, no woman in their good right mind will procreate with such a loser as that. I'm just going to say that out loud. But when Frank comes to his senses, Frank walks through the neighborhood where there's nothing but crime afoot. And he stopped by my Gucci and my Nucci. I'm sorry, my Nucci, who's the surviving member of the Nucci crime family. Thank you, man, for the cigar fund. And when he gets stopped by Ma Nucci, she says, I'm like you, Frank. My family was taken out. My family was destroyed. Ma Nucci goes through her husband, who she said, and I quote, smelled of different perfumes from the whores and prostitutes he was with lipstick smeared against his collar. He was the first taken out. Then it was her first son. who was trying to have a birthday party for his child, and he was gunned down. Then, last and least, it was her favorite son, who was possibly somebody who messed with underage girls. He was dragged out the car with Manucci, who was in a limo, because the limo driver was shot dead in the face. And lo and behold, who put the hits on him? It was Frank himself. And Frank didn't just shoot him. Frank stepped on his head and his neck and broke his neck from a stomp. Manucci got out of a wheelchair with some braces just to walk the Frank in the face and spit at it and said, "The only difference between me and you now is that I'm going to do the punishment. I'm going to do the punishing." And she put a large sum of a hit on him and said at 6:48 or 6:47, I forget the actual time, the same time that he killed her son, she said that she's going to announce the bounty, and every killer, ne'er-do-well, Nifnon, thug, and cretin is coming for Frank's ass. Like I said before, this comic is based upon Welcome Back, Frank. Are there going to be some variations that are different? Yes. The setting's different. Very much so different. So once the time hit, all hell broke loose. And let me back up to the early part of the story, the first part of the story. Well, you had this little wannabe tough guy, white boy, picking on a Marine Corps vet who's homeless with his dog. Not only does he disrespect the vet by sneaking him, he takes the dog and throws the dog into traffic where the dog was ran over and killed by a trash truck. And he had the audacity to take the hat that said United States Marine Corps in the initials in the hat. We're going to get back to that one later. So once the time hit, and Frank's living in the high rises in New York, you see all the gangsters, all the thugs with weapons galore going through house to house to flush Frank out. Frank notices a certain liquid substance coming through the bottom of his front door in the apartment. Come to find out, that liquid is gasoline. And that thug in person and in question lights a match. Well, you can see flames start to come up on Frank's legs. And the only way he could survive he runs right through the door, crashing into said thug. And he takes his nice, good old trusty K-bar and plunges it in his chest and his neck. Frank is now, in all his glory, going through apartment to apartment, trying to survive, unmercifully taking out every thug that he can see, especially those thugs who are picking on a mom and their son. And Frank slits literally the throat of that guy. Remember what I said? The war does not end, it only sleeps until somebody wakes it up. Frank valiantly goes through utilizing his skills as a recon marine, special operations, taking a weapon. Oh, yeah, he's definitely in New York, like 90% of Marvel heroes. And he goes and he takes this AK or SK. I think it was an AK. It was an AK. Might have been an SK, but who's picking? And he takes the SK or AK from the assailants and he goes to town on them like a surgeon cutting cancer out of a person's body. He's doing it not only by brutality, precision, and incision. When he ran out of rounds for one, he picked up the magazine of the thug, clipped it in, and went back to work. When that ran out, he found a handgun, went to work on that, and he battled all these thugs brutally until he got the roof of his high rise apartment complex. Knowing that he was starting to become overrun, he tossed himself over into a staffel. And then when he met such staffel, he worked his way on down. And apparently, because of this mob hit that Ma Rainey, Ma Nucci put on Frank, which was a high value amount, all the ne'er do wells came out of working just to capture or kill him. If you ever want to see beautiful choreography in a fight, look up the Ultimates, and then look at this one. This is just as good or almost as good as Daredevil in the hallway. Frank also gets hit by a guy who's on a wheelie on a bike and utilizes the metal on that truck as a weapon. One guy dropped off, tried to hit him with a baseball bat. And unfortunately, the parry game with Frank Castle was so beautiful on point, where he took such baseball bat and he began to hit RBIs, which are designated as really bad injuries. Now Frank hears the cries of a shop owner, black man, who had a bat of his own, dispatching justice to people trying to rob his store that he and his wife established. At one point, he was getting some good hits and getting the better of dudes until all these bullies converged on his site, making fun of him, talking about how much they're going to do to him. And out of nowhere, you see what? Another, oh, we got to get this character in play and we're going to get this going instead of actually getting the actual factual. I'm just saying. He moves his vehicle. Excuse me. He goes into the bat and he goes to town on the people, not just because he's helping his neighbor who's wounded at the time. It's because also his wife was trying to fight back, but she could only do so much. And they were trying to split up her and her daughter, who has to be no older than 7, maybe 8 at the best. So Frank does what he does best and dispatches hard justice. Then, on top of that, what we come to find out later is that, of course, they have a daughter, and Frank finally realizes when he dispatches those ne'er do wells very easily. To whom does it make concern? Then, on top of that, we have to take a very clear picture and what might actually become a necessity when you get back on your travels. On your travels, oh my goodness, he not only saves the family in every brutal fashion, he literally returns to the graveyard. Oh, I'm sorry, skipping a point. The little girl, and the whole family's black, by the way, she rushes over to give him a flower connected to some beads that humble Frank, where he made sure that flower was hanging on the graveyard or the gravestone of his wife and children. And then, oh, that sweet regalia. He got the vest and the shirt with the white skull. Mm. And he stops these thugs in their track. And he cut strings out of those motherfuckers and gave the permission of the fine meaning people. Okay, can we modify this or come up with a new character? Of course, it's not going to happen because, everybody wants to save a buck. But we get to see the Punisher once again when he's at the gravesite. Not only does he find his purpose again, but he also sees the simplicity of that own statement. It's kind of funny how a lot of people could not relate to him being back at the graveyard, apologizing to his family, and putting the little girl and her family saved. He grabs that little crochet flower or crayon flower, whatever the hell it was, and gives it to him as a token of appreciation and thanks. Once he's back at set, ne'er do well, that we call porta potties, it should be at least somewhat compatible and equal, right? But Frank, back in full Punisher regalia, it's either going to become a trap or a or a brown trap, in my view. And Frank, at that moment, and he embodied that brownness, that aggressiveness. Now, he catches up with this young punk who stole the hat and killed a dog of that homeless Vietnam vet. And the Vietnam vet says, he's saying, or alien, But yet, when he caught up with this dude and downright embarrassed him, as he should, and then next thing you know, he makes the promo and he actually puts back on that regalia to say, Frank Castle's not here right now. Can I take a message? And he lets the Punisher come out and play. Hmm. But I like how the man said, that's my cover. Which, for those of you who are not familiar with military lingo, cover means your head covering. And when he reflects back and he lets the guy go, and he tells Frank that's not the only thing he took from me, going back to the puppy being thrown into traffic. And Frank not only throws a knife into the back of that assailant, he wipes off the blood and proceeds to count, not only challenge, but quite possibly can win this elected official thing. Frank empties out the shells and he puts the goddamn handgun right to the homeboy's temple and just said, hey, boom, no more talking. We need to make sure this is not just a one off hit and we get many more goddamn people to watch it. I don't want to hear people's critiques. I mean, hey, it's what they believe in. Like, that's amazing. And then that's how episode one ends. Unless there's going to be more, which it should be. Don't give us just that one off shit. That's when shit's getting good with this one. Mm. But nobody wants to hear the story of a man who loses everything and he has absolutely no fucks, no wherewithals on where he lives. But yet, you have to understand something. Is that people like that can be sociopaths, probably psychotic. But the one thing I told a lot of people, at some point, you're going to have to get off your ass and stop to bully yourself. Because I don't care if you win, lose, or draw, not too many people are looking for their woman to throw a nice, mean left hook, right cross combination. I want you to think about it. Every decision I watch in manga or anime or comic book paraphernalia, and let's say one place has the technology for another, and you got to say to yourself, why didn't we do this shit yet? I mean, Everything's okay when it's not classified, I guess. But yet, I've noticed one thing as well. Because when you protect little children, the first thing little children tend to do is climb, their red heifers or whatever the hell they ate, and we're going to post it for you. I mean, hey, but when it comes to situations and tactics, I don't know. So, I'm going to have to put people on here shortly, but reality. And tell me what your message for those who show no compassion, even though they show a lot of depth. I think it's so funny with America. We'll worry more about are they going to tear down our schools? Okay, so what? We'll figure it out. When you look at people like the Fantastic Four, I hate to go into those comical literary things. They get to be celebrated because they're propped up to be heroes, like some people in reality. But what happens to those grizzled, high tier? I've seen a lot of Where My Days see the Punisher, and that would actually be a good series right there, at least a day, where he literally opens up what the fuck is going on. But yeah, most people don't want to listen to that order. But yeah, if you haven't seen that, I think you should. I think John Berthal put his foot in it. And a lot of those things he suffered as military personnel, you're just a number. Even with my uncle, somebody was asking me about a goddamn contractor to come back to me. But I get more complaints off of telling people the real shit of warfare and how it affects people. But I get a bunch of cowardly motherfuckers who won't even come on the panel. You know, it's one of those things where if I had to write this character, I couldn't really outdo that what I saw on the screen. But I will say this. But, you know, I like it for one. The violence made sense, some of it over the top, but you could feel the Punisher knowing that punishment does not end, it sleeps. Yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting take on the show. I'm just hoping it's going to be a lot more backstage geopolitical shit. I know that's going to be pretty nostalgic, pretty brutal. I'm a little tired, so I'm gonna end this off early. So screw it. I love it. I want some more of it. So if you haven't gone to Disney and watched that, you should actually sit down. You ain't got nothing to do on a Friday. Watch The Punisher One Last Kill. I think it's gonna be at least a couple episodes. I'm hoping not just him wearing the black and white skull. But let's get out of here. And yes, the new season just came out today, or at least the new show. I'm glad you got your SWAT book. Hopefully, you enjoy it. We'll do a review of that SWAT book once you read it. Oh, man. Today's been such a heavy, busy day. At least my brother's out and at the house from emergency surgery. My sister's doing a little bit better. Mm, I don't know. Y'all want to get up on this boring ass stage? I don't know. Sometimes I'm gonna have to do this show like early when I wake up or something. Thank God, this late night stuff's hitting me hard. Maybe because I got so much to do. Because today must have been a day I must have to coach everybody out, man. Mm, mm. But I'll say I like that episode. It's what the Punisher should be. He's not a superhero. He's the essence of a vigilante. When justice can't be served the right way, Frank could take care of it. But I'm gonna give it about 5 minutes if anybody want to come up here. If not, I'm gonna shut it down early. Tired, big boy. Tired, tired, tired. If Charles become the Punisher, America is doomed. If Charles become the Punisher, America might be fixed. Well, Frank always had a soft spot for little kids. Period. Because somehow in his PTSD, they always remind him of his own kids. But we also got to remember Frank is not a superhero. He's not a superhero. And I think that's the best way that people should actually look upon the character. He's not a superhero. He's a He's a soldier with heavy PTSD, and he's not trying to be portrayed. And the one thing I love about John Berthal, he actually took the time to read on the comics and respect the character in all its glory, because the Punisher was never made to be one of the good guys. He's a murderer. And I think the Punisher represents men and possibly women. If they're pushed a certain limit, they would go into a certain direction. I think the Punisher really represents Hammurabi's code, eye for an eye, at the point. What's up, ABM?
What's good?
Trying not to sleep on the panel again, but hey, I failed at that. But hey, the Punisher's out. You know how busy life makes you. But
That's what happened. You fell asleep?
I hope not.
Oh, man.
But that Punisher, man, when you see him, I think this is the most brutal we've seen the Punisher in a live action series in a minute, if ever. Because that when they put gasoline through his fucking apartment, you just see something go off on Frank. As a matter of fact, this is supposed to be connected to the Spider-Man movie.
I've been waiting for the new season of The Punisher and Daredevil. I don't know when Daredevil going to start back up, but
Daredevil I think they're just finishing up they just finished their last season, their last episode.
No, that fucking Daredevil was hard. Kingpin hard as shit.
Yeah, they got the right motherfucker to play Kingpin, didn't they?
Yeah, he nails it. He fucking nails it.
But then again, I think I forget his name, because he played on Law and Order. He's always been one of them classics. And he also played in Kingpin of Harlem. That guy should get his flowers from his acting career, man. I think he's probably one of the best actors we've seen. Like, he should be up there with damn near almost up there with Denzel, man, because he plays the hell out of some parts.
Yeah, he plays the Chin on Godfather of Harlem.
Yeah. And if you notice, he plays, even when he plays a similar character, a mobster, a criminal, he plays them so differently.
No, he fucking nails Kingpin though, yo. That scene when he crushed his head with his bare hands.
Yeah.
Damn, I love that shit.
And that's how brutal the Kingpin is in the comics. Like, he'll beat you to death with his bare hands and prefer it like that. And you know, when you get guys who grow up reading the comics, I think you actually get the best performances out of people. Like, you know, like I think Henry Cavill's Superman and Man of Steel. Like, god damn. If you think Superman 2025 is better than Man of Steel, I think you spoken dope. I mean, you want that white girl, them Cheryls or something. I'm sorry. Man of Steel, that shit gave Ben chills of how good that was. And if you go watch this season 2 of the Daredevil, hell, go watch season 1 and 2 of Daredevil Born Again. That shit's chilling. And then the guy they played, they got to play Bullseye. Ooh, boy. If that motherfucker doesn't go into a Marvel movie, they fucking up. They fucking up. Well, what do you think about John Berthal's portrayal of the Punisher so far?
He's the best one in recent years.
Yeah.
He's better than that last guy with that from the 2000s. I
Yeah.
forget his name. He's better than him.
Even though I like Thomas Jane.
I didn't think he had the right look.
Yeah, he has the right look. But if you want to see Thomas Jane at his most brutal as the Punisher, go look at Punisher on YouTube. I swear to God, you're gonna be like, Charles, you a motherfucker for this. Go look up Punisher Laundry Day. And this was just him just taking a little side project. I never seen people get the shit beat out of them with half a gallon of Jack Daniels in my life like that. Between Thomas Jane and Berthoud, those are the two best Punishers, but I think Berthoud tops Jane because he plays up the PTSD part. And I've told people, I said, look, when we talk about warriorhood, that's the part about warriorhood that people don't understand. The people who protect you, I think America and people in general do not understand that there are some people who have scars, and a lot of those scars you don't see because they're on the inside, who make your country safe, who makes your dollar fucking valuable, that you don't even recognize. That's why a lot of times when you see people make fun, oh, that's the crazy ass vet, that's the homeless guy. No, you don't do that. You don't know what that motherfucker had to go through. And that one scene with that little punk on the street beats up a fucking homeless vet. I felt that. Dude's limping, and you throw his dog in front of a fucking truck. Come on, man. And when the Punisher put that fucking knife to his fucking face, and he said, "Hey, double dog, that's my cover he got on." And you could tell the respect that Frank had, the look in his eye when he respected that old vet. And he gave him back his hat. And then he said that wasn't the only thing he took from me. Man, Frank threw that fucking knife in that man's ass. And he took that gun and he just boom. You never know because, I've said this before, even as a police officer, sometimes whatever God you believe in makes you wrath for other people who couldn't do it themselves. You're supposed to protect those who can't protect themselves, right? Even if it comes to violence.
Yo, what's good, Charles? ABM.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yo, Charles, what I was saying in the chat, when you spoke about, like, you said he was doing pull-ups and like his hands was bandaged and he was still bleeding through the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that made me think about, like, yeah, because I was having that conversation with Artisan and talking about, I forget what the conversation about, but basically it was, like this also happened, and because I haven't seen the last kill yet, but I'm definitely gonna watch it now. I just wanted to hear what's going on with it.
I
But
hope
yeah,
it.
like, sorry, what
Go
did you
ahead.
say?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, I was gonna say that yeah, in the second season when he started out, like that's what we were talking about. I was saying that, like, you swing that sledgehammer, that'll get all the rage out of you. But this motherfucker was just he was just going all day, all night, showing up early, fucking working late.
Well, you got to think about it, right? When there's a reason why some scenes actually brought tears to my eyes because I understood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why it was crazy to me to see him doing that, because because this was like after we talked about it, and I haven't like at that point I haven't like finished the show. Like I still have a couple episodes left because that was the one of the things that I personally did. You know, when anytime I had to swing a sledgehammer, all I got to do was picture a face, and you definitely swing that shit harder. You know, but after a
Yeah.
while, like you get tired out. But this motherfucker was you showing up early, you staying there late, like
Because you got to think, what happens when you. It's like the Joker told Batman in the Killing Joke. What happens when you have one bad day? And
everything is fucked.
not necessarily. It's how you
Oh, I thought
look
you were
at it.
speaking in terms of Batman.
Not
Like if Batman
necessarily.
was to have a bad day.
Because some people, and this is the reason why I said there's a difference between heroes and cowards. Okay? Remember when I showed the difference between Nashville and Uvalde?
Yeah.
You saw the difference between people who stepped up and people who stepped down, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I mean of what happens. When we got these trolls saying, "Oh, you sound like this," and you, motherfucker, you
Shit,
sleeping.
you could sound like anything because you actually went out and fought war and shit. This motherfucker sitting on his ass.
Those are the same people that if you ask if the government asks the men to fight, these are the same pussyfied, feminized, bitch-made motherfuckers who will never ever get the glory of being a man. This is the only time a guy gets to be tough is behind a fucking computer screen. You notice? These are the people who think they're tough.
I didn't know that John Bernthal, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but
Yeah,
I
you
didn't know
said,
that he actually had a podcast. I don't know if
yeah,
he still has it. He actually
yeah.
had or has a podcast. And apparently, like the complaints I'm seeing is that like he must have interviewed some IDF soldier and shit. But you know,
What are the complaints?
the complaints is that like he must be like a Zionist or some shit like that. But like I don't even care to be honest, because like I personally like the show Punisher. I like him as an actor, so
I
like I
mean,
like to keep that shit separate from the
I
people.
mean, whatever. I mean, a lot of people don't like him because his sister-in-law is black. A lot of people don't like him because he's related to black people. A lot of people don't see. Here's the problem, right? You know why I hate feminism, and it's for a deeper perspective than what people really think. Feminism is nagging for your rights.
Yeah, pretty much.
You didn't see not one feminist get off their ass in Selma and say, "I'm going to fight the police," or "I'm going to confront the police," knowing you're probably going to take an ass whooping, right? See, I don't want to see any white dude talk about racism unless you got the conviction of John Brown. And if you're an American black person and you don't know who John Brown is, you need to be slapped. Because there were some white people who went hard against racism and slavery. May not have been a lot, but there was a few. It's one thing to have black friends, but it's another thing to stick your neck out and say, "My God said every man should be free. And I'm willing to kill and die for that belief." You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you. Like, because like that's the thing that one of the things BGS said he was going to cover is like going back to like the whole ERA and shit. Because I first seen that like just coming from the MGTOW space, just I seen the whole like video and explanation how how like how like one of the main like like these like what you call trad-cons now, like sided with the feminists, was like, yeah, we don't want the right to vote because we don't want to be drafted.
Yeah, because you got to think about it. Feminism made bitches out of men. Do we all agree?
Of course.
Facts.
And I'm not afraid to say it. I say it in front of fucking Congress. You made bitches out of the men that you said you can't date, you can't stand, but yet these are the same fucking kids who come out here fat, out of shape. Go look at those fucking pictures of the 60s and how young men used to go. Young men could go fucking do pull-ups all day. Barrels of hay, black, white, whatever you want to say it. But then when it comes to defending your fucking country, all these motherfuckers say, I'm not gonna do it.
So you would know this a lot better than me. I can't remember the exact number, but it was saying that like the majority of Americans can't even pass the fitness test requirement to get into the military.
Almost 80. Almost 80%. And the fucked up part about it is, right? That's what feminism gives you. It gives you out of shape, complainy, bitchy made men. I don't understand that the amount of men that you kept away from their fathers for decades, and this ain't just a black thing. White women have done it too. See, the problem with the truth is we don't want to blame the source. We just want to blame the symptoms and the signs. We don't want to blame the source. When you look at feminism, who do you think is the original incels? That ain't no black man an original incel. You put us in these fucking hard ass environments. Most of us had to grow harder than what the fuck we really wanted. The other day, my friend told me,
yeah, like that. Like,
she said her son went skateboarding, which is nothing wrong. But 5 dudes jump out on him. He approached them. Instead of keeping his bag while he's skateboarding in the car, you keep it out there. Hell, she called me when I'm going grocery shopping. I go immediately to Hazelwood. You know where Hazelwood is, ABM. Right across the skate park, right across the street from Hazelwood Inn.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's upset. He's 21 and upset. And even she said he's green because he was raised in suburbia. I'm raised in East Baltimore. She's raised in the fucking DC. I'm like, look, he doesn't realize this. Why am I here? Them niggas took your bag, which you put your keys in. And you don't know these niggas, if they wild enough to jump out and steal your shit, they wild enough to come back and steal your car. And if 5 niggas jump out, I could document them taking them out. Hey, I'm a bad motherfucker when I want to be, but 5 niggas on me, chances might not be good. So guess what? Bow, 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 bow.
So I wanted to comment on what you said about like the whole, when you're saying the whole, like who's the original incels. Like I personally never met a black incel in my life. And from what I've learned from the space and talking to people is, yeah, most black men, if not all, like you could get something if you really wanted to compared to like other races, you know?
Well, you got to feminize the white boys because the white girl, see, let me go black pill for a moment. Let me spray a little bit of this spice bomb real quick so I can make the room smell good. Shay had to put the smell goods for the ancestors.
You gotta get that cold feed, man. That PayPal killing me on the fees, dog.
The spice bomb, for the ancestors. If anybody, see, the thing is, white boys don't want to understand, and they probably do now, their ultimate enemy was never the black man, because the black man always got it out of mud and got it back out of blood. The ultimate enemy of white men was actually his own damn woman.
Yeah, I've actually spoken to like some of the white incels and black pill. What they call themselves black pill, but they're not. You know,
Yeah,
I've actually
factual.
spoken to them, and like they've said that they'd
See,
rather go without than deal with the black woman,
I mean,
even though the black women are like
it's not
dying to
even
deal with
black
them.
women. White women were the ultimate enemy of white men. Okay, you think what? See, black women have the decency to fuck you on the front end. White women will fuck you on the back end after you get the house,
Yeah,
after you
they'll
have the
put a little
kid,
bit of they'll put a little cyanide in your food. You know.
after. No, they'll do a lot more. Them white bitches will still call themselves a victim after they hit you with a car. They can bring a pool boy to your house and you make all this damn money, then they want a divorce. See, black women think the system works the same way as for them as white women. It does not. See, when Zora Neale Hurston said the freest people in America are white men and black women, see, the problem that black women don't understand is their asses are still black.
I didn't mean to throw you off or nothing, but yeah, man.
Oh, you're not throwing me off. It's the way the conversation goes. And see, the problem with it is that white women develop the skill that black women wish they would. Why do you think we have Karens? Because Karens like to throw the rock and hide their hand because they have the veil of not only being a woman but whiteness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I said. Like, yeah, they'll put a little cyanide in your food. You know, like just take you out slowly over time. Versus at
It's
least
not even.
like a black woman's just up front with the shit.
It's not even just take you out slowly. It's the fact that she will come down because white women want power, but white women are the most cowardly creatures ever because she'll never ever suit up her Gucci footed boots to fight for that power. Why do you think the first so called women to pass Ranger School were white? I've
That's an
never,
interesting question.
how many white women outclass black women in athletics?
No idea. Curious.
Not too many. Unless it's a sport that we're not familiar with, they're not outclassing them. It's the same thing. What happened when you let black guys go into wrestling? They were dogging them white boys. When I got a hold of wrestling, I was dogging them motherfuckers from McDonough, dogging them motherfuckers from Archbishop Curley, dogging them motherfuckers. Okay?
Uh, well, speaking about that, Charles, did you watch that Dave Chappelle comedy thing he did? Like, I
Which
forget what it
one?
was called. Like that most, I think it was the most recent one he did. Like the one where he was talking about, I think he was talking about Jack Johnson, boxer.
Yeah, I mean that's why you have the Mann Act. I
Yeah,
mean, let's look at this for a second, right? In the last 30 years, hell, damn near almost 40, 35 years, what white comedian did everybody sell out a show to watch?
that's a damn good question.
Probably Jerry Seinfeld.
That's the only one that comes to mind. But how many black comedians sold out places when you heard them? Ever since, and we could go from Richard Pryor on down.
I think the bigger question is who didn't.
We could go from Richard Pryor on down. When you look at the best of comedians, not one person is a white boy.
And he, like going back to what I was mentioning, like
And
he
and
did
hold
say
on
during
for a second. And hold on for a second.
my bad.
Here's the crazy part. Anybody who knows comedy, you have to be very quick on your feet and intelligent to make people laugh. Because comedy is the ultimate showmanship of intelligence. You have to correlate comedy into intellectual prowess, which is very difficult for people to do.
Yeah, and I know we talk about it in the space about like emotion labor and stuff, but it's kind of more than that, because that kind of just sounds like, you're just, you're in tune with other people's feelings, but it also involves like being able to read people and understand that kind of stuff, and like deal with like nonverbal communication.
It's you got to think about it. Why do you think it's so hard for women to be? You never hear of a woman being the greatest comedian ever.
I haven't actually seen a female comedian that I like, because anytime I listen, it has to do with like it just revolves around like pussy jokes and
It
that
just
kind of shit.
it just revolves about sex, pussy, how big or how little a dick is, how good they can suck or not suck a dick, and that's it. They can't tell you a story.
Most people do not like women comedians.
No, they're not funny.
That's why they're never a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was crazy. Who was that chick that I think it was like Amy Schumer that was like, how come Dave Chappelle got 50 mil from Netflix and I didn't?
Because
like,
she ain't Dave Chappelle. See, when Dave Chappelle left Comedy Central, guess what that made Dave Chappelle? A hot commodity. It's the same thing in pro wrestling. If Cody Rhodes stayed in WWE, he would have stayed a mid-carder. See, men know their worth better than women do. Cody Rhodes went on the indie scene, making millions on the indie scene, unheard of, and made his name bigger. What happened with Dave Chappelle when he left Comedy Central? Took a break for a couple of years.
I
Huh?
I was gonna say he was actually still doing like not during that time, but building up to like where he is at now. Like he was doing like comedy specials in like other countries and shit like that.
Yeah.
He was doing his thing.
He wasn't a poor man, but the money Comedy Central offered him now, because he took the time to show what he was worth, he's making that per show,
Yeah.
per special on Netflix. See, that's the problem when you know your worth. It's like the Punisher. Guess what? Why didn't the citizens have a problem with the Punisher?
Because he was doing the stuff that the police and couldn't do or weren't allowed to do. He
was doing the stuff that other superheroes wouldn't do.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute. Shorty just got taken advantage of in a fucking alley, and you're gonna still bring the? Nah, he gotta go, because if he do it once, he'll do it again.
Yeah, I like you would know the history better than I would about the Punisher.
Well, the Punisher was originally a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah, I didn't know that, and I was looking into him, because like watching the series got me interested. So I was looking into him.
If you want to get into the psyche of the Punisher, go look up Punisher War Journal. Then, if you want to understand more of this season or this show, go look up Punisher War Journal. Go look up Punisher. Welcome back, Frank.
Because I was watching a video that was explaining like I forget what it was, but it was talking about like pretty much the Avengers was trying to like lock him up and shit, and they were all dismissive of like, yo, he's only human. But yeah, I got to a point where he was like even fucking up Thor and shit. And yeah, they're like, yeah, we need to get his ass.
The Punisher. The Punisher is the ultimate soldier, even though he's a Marine, but he's the ultimate Marine. Taken too far.
Yeah, he's like how Batman should have been.
Well, he's Batman if he never had a killing code. Batman knows himself. Frank, this is why you understand why he has a non-killing code, because psychologically, when did Batman's people die? When he was a child. When did Frank's family die? When he was an adult. Think about it. Frank Castle is such a badass that the fucking Ghost Rider penance stare, that same penance stare that took down Galactus, does not work on him. You know why? because the Punisher doesn't feel guilt in what he does. He believes that this is what criminals believe. That's how badass he's got nothing but conviction of blowing a fucking criminal's head off. People say, "Oh my God, Charles, you condoning violence?" No, no, not saying that. But guess what? If you like getting paid every week or every bi-week, guess what? There's somebody in some fucking god-awful country right now doing violence on your behalf so your fucking dollar system works. Let's just get the black pill truth out there. In order for America to have this fucking shit that we have today, we had to do some nasty shit to some nasty people.
Hey, Charles, who do you think had a better code, like the Punisher or Arrow?
Arrow is the Punisher. First season Arrow was basically the Punisher, because Green Arrow was never truly like that. I mean, maybe in his when they recanted him in his stories, because the Green Arrow was doing trick arrows. When he came back, he had fucking, he had shafts. He wasn't doing no trick arrows anymore. He was just putting something in your ass. So,
yeah, even when they did like the crossovers, like on the Flash, and they had Arrow in there, Flash is in there, like, oh, I'm fast, like I could do anything, and he's like, yeah, that's how you feel.
And he blew his ass up.
He set up a trap.
He blew his ass up. He got rid of that. Well, you got to think about it. The Flash is the happy-go-lucky guy. Arrow was basically part Batman. You seen, because goddamn it, for some reason, Arrow doesn't have the biggest, rose gallery, so they had to borrow from Batman. So that's why you saw Deathstroke. That's why you saw Ra's al Ghul and all these other people. That's the only person he had was Merlin. So you're looking at a person who had to avenge his father and his people in his city. Guess what? I'm surprised in America right now, and this tells you the bitch madeness of America. You didn't have drug dealers out there on the streets because of two reasons. One, there was a code. Number two, people would have rose against the motherfuckers with guns in their houses. But guess what type of system said you don't need a gun? You just talk about, what was it, Missouri or Mississippi? A state trooper was engaging a dude with a gun, and it was a fucking Marine Corps vet taking his gun out, and he's shooting side by side with the goddamn state trooper to take that fucking out.
I actually just I watched a video and I read a bit about that. I don't remember the details, but yeah, like what they actually made the distinction to say that, like, the cop and also that ex-military dude, like, they ran in versus running away.
They actually shot the guy and killed him.
Yeah.
So think about this, right? These fucking feminized men who don't even have it in you, and they don't want to defend the country. These are the men. Oh, I like a man who's emotionally intelligent. Emotional intelligence is when I need to take action and when I don't. Because sometimes emotional intelligence is telling you to shut the fuck up before you make the situation worse. Pulling you to the side and say, shut the fuck up.
But what they mean by emotional intelligence is to deal with my bullshit.
Emotional intelligence is code for, I want you to be a beta. I want you to be a bitch-made nigga, but Tupac to everybody else. But people forget that Michael Jackson whooped Tupac's ass.
Yeah.
Emotional intelligence means put up with my shit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
As the MGTOW space used to say, just be an emotional tampon.
Yeah.
Emotionally,
College,
go ahead. Go ahead.
college has done a number on people. There was a time when college was for well-off to do white folks.
Mm-hmm.
Now that any and everybody goes to college, this is what you get now. You take your liberal arts courses, and now you come back in reality in the real world, and you think that shit applies.
Sadly.
So now, when a woman is dead wrong about something, you can't tell her she's dead wrong because emotional intelligence is always going to be her get out of jail free card. I don't have to listen to you because you don't have emotional intelligence.
Yeah, pretty much.
Man, this is what I tell her. I don't have to help you because I don't have emotional intelligence. Because guess what? A man is supposed to take off his emotions and throw them in the trash when shit needs to be done. You want me to be
Well, technically,
emotional?
technically, that's everybody.
Exactly.
Hey, Charles, you could spoil it. I haven't like I got 2 episodes left on the Netflix Punisher series. Please tell me that Curtis is alive in One Last Kill.
The black guy?
Yeah.
Uh, I gotta look at it again because I don't know. I'm giving my quick when I just saw it review, but I'm gonna give an even more in depth review when I see it again.
Yeah, like I really like I thought it was a movie that was coming out, like One Last Kill. But if it's a series, I'm definitely down to watch that shit because I really enjoyed watching The Punisher because I
The
really
Pun-
enjoyed watching it. So yeah,
the,
I'm really
the
hoping this is a
Punisher,
series.
the Punisher represents. I'm not gonna say men are super violent, but I'll say this: the Punisher reminds you of old school masculinity.
Yeah, and Curtis, like speaking about emotional labor, like this dude was literally running a fucking like a therapy class for veterans.
Yeah, the people. But see, this is the problem with emotional labor. Labor is supposed to be a twofold thing. Why aren't the women emotionally sound? Because you're the ones who's supposed to be the more emotional fucking creature. Even my friend said to her son, I apologize for making you this fucking green to the world. I raised you to be a good human being, but I could not raise you to be a man.
Because even Curtis, like, when that white boy was like blowing shit up, like he still tried to reason with the guy.
Yeah, but guess what Curtis will do? He will kill you. Curtis was a special forces medic.
Yeah,
Special forces medics go through the longest school. That's a year to a year and a half school. You could literally do surgery on the fucking battlefield. But guess
yeah,
what? That motherfucker's just as deadly as anybody.
yeah,
They're just as good saving a life as taking one.
and
And see, Curtis was not a
he kept
whore.
Frank alive.
Curtis was not a whore. Okay? Curtis was not a whore. See, imagine if the Punisher was a black guy, which basically he is,
Pretty much, yeah.
because he's really representing how black American males really feel about the fucking system.
When also too, like Curtis was his like that's the Punisher's best friend.
Yeah.
Like even though like he's not gonna say it or anything, that's his best friend.
He says it to a point. Because here's the part. I'm gonna get black pill with you about that. If anybody's gonna be the Punisher, it's not gonna be a white boy. It should have been black men. But it also tells you how emotionally intelligent black men are. Because number one, who has the biggest gripe against this fucking country than black men? What white woman actually have a gripe against this country? Bitch, motherfuckers capture fucking countries and decimated civilizations in your name. Fuck out of here. Black women. When did you take the ass whippings in the civil rights movement? You were undermining us at every bit. I'm looking at you, Bell Hooks. I'm looking at you. What's the one chick that Polly married?
Well,
I'm looking
what
at
what
you. I'm looking at you, Angela Davis.
what BGS said recently. Um, I think he said Polly Murray was Polly Murray. I believe it's her, or or it's the next one, like the Phyllis Schlafly chick. Like he said that they were like dealing with Reagan's woman.
No, it's not Reagan's. She Eleanor Roosevelt.
Yeah, my bad, my bad.
Yeah, she's a lesbian. I mean, think about it. If you're a lesbian, you already a conflicted soul. Think about it. You want. I'm gonna say this. I've never met a woman that can't resist dick once she gets it. The only reason you're a hardcore lesbian is for two reasons. Either you were sexually assaulted or you never had it. Because you could take the biggest bull dyke who never had dick. Once she gets it, guess what? She's hooked.
I mean, in my experience in dealing with lesbians, it got to be less than 10%. Like, and that's like me giving them a huge benefit of the doubt that don't have kids.
And I'm a go even deeper what you said, LAPD SWAT. It's not just the physics; it's the mentality and the intelligence level. Notice they're trying to make men seem like they have a loneliness problem. Men are like the Incredible Hulk. Just leave us the fuck alone. Women, when they're left alone, they're neurotic. They're calling everybody. See, when you get a man who's alone, they check up on you and the kids. They have a conversation. I hit you back in a couple of days to a week. They will leave you to your own devices. Oh, you wanted the kids? Okay. You want to keep the kids away from me? Okay. We will find something else to fill that void. When it comes to women, the problem is they have nothing but a void. You don't hear women saying, I'm going to go. You don't hear too many women talk about, I'm going to go play my PlayStation. I'm going to go play chess. I'm going to do this type of hobby. When they're married, what do they usually do? Their hobby is being nose deep in your ass because they can't think of shit to do on their own. That's the reason why I've always messed with athletic girls. They're fun. They got hobbies of their own. One chick I talked to, she rides bikes. Another chick I talked to, she plays football and rugby. They're fun to talk to. When you have women who are naturally neurotic creatures, they got to do something because their life's not fulfilled unless they're doing something. They got to interrupt your fucking life.
Yeah, I'm a gamer, so the only chicks that I've ever played with that can play at my level or better, like they're usually like this is like 99% of them. Like they're usually ugly, fat, you
Yeah,
know.
because they can't get. See, this is the reason why pretty chicks tend to not have good personalities or personality, period. Why do you think Meg the Stallion thought I could cosplay wifey material, but she didn't know what a wife material was because was she raised by one? Absolutely not. Because when you see her actions, a wife is supposed to do what?
Like you said,
Take the back seat. She's supposed to take the back seat. But yet, we want all these women to be wife like material. But at the same time, what is she going to do? She's going to go around, show half her fucking body around just to get attention. And then complain about men gawking at her. But at the same time, Why do you want your woman and some of these fucking things on fucking social media? I'm gonna have to fucking politely excuse myself from some of these fucking sites because all I hear is a bunch of bickering from ugly bitches. Well, Maya could be sexy, but Maya's pathetic.
You
How
talking
can
about Maya, like the singer?
yes from
Oh
DC?
man.
She's pathetic. I'm gonna get into a marriage by myself. You know what that shows me? With all that beauty you behold and possess, you couldn't get a nigga to wife you because you're a pass around. You never hear of any of these bitches marrying a nigga on their level. You think Rihanna could get another billionaire? No. She had to get a fucking simping ass ASAP Rocky.
Yeah, and
Maya
yeah.
been through so much dick, she ought to call him Richards. Oh yeah, that's true. And see, here's the criteria about it. When you look at modern women today, right? Since we keep it in the Punisher thing, think about it. The Punisher is the realest motherfucker. He saw things. I may not agree with the methods all the way. Some of them I do. I'm not gonna lie to you. Women look for somebody to do violence on their behalf. Men just do it. That's why they always want to keep men under their thumb, the boys under their thumb. Because when men start to wake up and say, why should I fight on your behalf when you don't even respect me? Why should I pay your bills? Why should I protect? Why should I provide for you? You don't do shit for me. What do I get out of this deal? When men ask this one question to women, what do I get for the cost of my life? Because, bitch, you ain't going to defend my life. That's when the conversation becomes null and void. And what happens is that a lot of men go through Punisher shit, not to the extreme of just offing people, even though the Punisher only kills bad guys, by the way. But think about it. They want you to be so bitch made, and this is the look what happens when they kept the fathers out the home. When the father's out the home, who protects the community? People forget the Jackson miniseries. When I forget which son it was, I think it was either Tito or one of them had a bully, and they said, "Nah, we ain't running from this." He grabbed the gloves for both boys, and they went in the backyard. And then what happened when Mama Jackson came up? No, we got to stop it. No, he got to earn his respect.
You know shit is getting crazy when even fucking Will Smith is fucking he's holding his nuts now.
No, he said I'm done.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he
I'm
finally
done.
hold it.
Fuck you, Jaden. I've been doing this for like 30 years. Fuck you.
He's finally holding his nuts.
That's because he knows his wife is a selfish bitch. And some men have to come to the realization I can't divorce her because it's gonna fuck up my name and fuck up my money. So guess what? Be the selfish bitch that you are and hold your own ovaries. Well, I'm not happy. Fuck your happiness, because I said that for mine for 30 years.
Hey,
Fuck you.
hey,
I'm gonna tell you this, Andre. There's many a times I had to tell women I've dated or women I knew, go fuck yourself.
yeah.
You don't even have the wherewithal to look at the world around you and you think everybody owes something to you. You have not put anything in the fucking bank to even deposit. All you do is make withdrawal after withdrawal after withdrawal after withdrawal. Well, you withdrawed so much that you went past your fucking withdrawal limit.
Hey, Charles and ABM, if he's still there, what do you think about like Jada came out talking about like anything that he like I was never happy with him and no matter what he could do, he could never make me
Guess
happy.
what? She sound like a typical Baltimore bitch. That's all she is to me. You just a Baltimore bitch who was pretty in her day and got lucky that Will Smith had pity upon you.
Oh, she from Baltimore?
Yes. Why do you think her and Tupac met? She rather deal with the so-called thug who was doing fucking ballet dancing. He went to the School of Arts.
Well, Will
There you
Smith
go.
should have got he should have got the message when his daughter was like writing a letter to fucking Tupac. This nigga dead. Like,
It's because when Will Smith was too busy making money, this is the reason why you got to watch the women you deal with, because those are going to have the most influences on your kids. If you notice, his oldest child, his oldest son, is normal. Them bitches raised by Jada are weird. What happened? First of all,
yeah, his kids are weird as hell. Like the son's a
first of all,
girl, the
I'm gonna
daughter's a
say this.
man.
I'm gonna say this to every black man listening to the sound of my voice. If you don't have a sister, you need to get cool with one chick. Never fuck her, but that's your sister, right? One chick. And that one chick should keep all the bitches you deal with in line, even if it's your wife.
Like I'll
Because
say this.
because I'm gonna say this. Hold on, let me finish my thought.
Sorry.
The reason why, praying for my sister for a speedy recovery in the hospital. My brother had surgery the other day, so both my siblings were in the hospital at the same time. One at Johns Hopkins, one at UMBC, and I had to take my father to both.
Well,
That was
since you brought it up, like what happened?
hold on. Stop no pre-ejaculation yet. So gotta keep it in the holster for a little bit. Gotta slow stroke it. Sometimes you gotta slow stroke it. And beat it all up, man. But that was a heavy day because I had to be there for my dad when 2 out of 3 of his kids are in the hospital for serious shit. And you got to think about this, man. If I was dealing with somebody in the mindset of Gabrielle Union and they took my adolescent son to a gay parade, my sister would have put hands on her. And I say that, well, you know what? 2 tears in a bucket, fuck it. I say it with all my heart and soul. You got a bitch who's handsy, guess what? You should have a cousin. You should have a sister. If you don't have that, have a cool ass homegirl who will put hands on a bitch for you.
That's what I've been saying for the longest time.
I'm sorry. There's not a chick you fucking, just a cool ass chick who will put hands on a bitch for just the. If one of your bitches see a bitch coming up in your face, she ought to slap that bitch to the ground. And I'm not talking about violence. It's all cause of respect. You don't take my goddamn son to no gay parade, fucking indoctrinating him into some shit. Okay? Indoctrinating, and I just showed you the video. When you got white men twerking and fucking thongs and shit in front of kids. And you think that's safe shit? Notice how women are always okaying that bullshit. But then you want to talk about the downfall of society as men? Bullshit. I think we ought to take some of your rights back because you don't know how to act right in the first place.
Well, Charles, I wanted to ask you, like, are your siblings okay?
Oh, they're doing better now. Thank you for asking.
Oh, okay.
But you got to realize this, man. You when I see a man in an abusive relationship with a woman, I'll be like, do you have any sisters? No. That's why. Because that a predator is a predator is a predator. Just like a dude who just wants to beat up on his girlfriend or wife, guess what usually doesn't happen? She's not close to the father, or she doesn't have brothers.
Yeah, my closest brother, I kind of made the mistake in the past. Like this was like fucking, like this was like damn near like 20 years ago. I made the mistake of telling him like I don't need anything but just money and my money and my gun. I was like, I don't need anything other than that. But he helped me out when I needed it. You know,
Exactly.
and he was like, "Remember when he told me that?" I was like, "Yeah, I do. I apologize for that."
Yeah. This is the fact of the matter that when chicks run off at the mouth and they see a female beside you, notice they get quiet because the only reason they running off is because, oh, if he hit me, I had the leeway of crying or calling for help with the police or a man. But what happens when there's a chick who's ride or die for you, whether it was romantic or familial? Guess what? That bitch act right. She finds the act right. She goes to Gulliver's Travels to get that act right and look for it because she knows that bitch is going to tear fur off her ass.
Yeah,
And
my female siblings are gynecorasts, but at the end of the day, like if I need them, they'll come. Like dealing
because,
with like other chicks.
because here's the part. Even before they put hands on him, they talk to him like, look, you ain't going to be disrespecting my brother, cousin, my friend, this, that, and the other. See, back in the day, you know, this violence shit, you ain't got to touch her. All right. Sometimes, depending on if your mom is still healthy, she will handle that bitch. See, a lot of y'all didn't see my mother back 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. She got knuckles like brass knuckles, man. I remember a 15-year-old who was 5'10", 230 pounds, trying to fight my mother. I looked at my mother's face, no marks. I looked at that bitch face, she was lumped. And my mother's 5 feet tall.
I have a cousin that like he was messing with a chick that apparently the chick like tried to go to one of those like like my family's Caribbean, so she went to one of those like witch doctors type shit, and yeah, the mom like his mom heard about it. She beat the shit out that bitch.
Yeah. Because there's certain level of respect you're supposed to give that man. Because if that man,
the man who plotted to kill rapper Foolio, following the Tampa,
whatever
the man.
But the fucked up part about it is that and just looking at this 20-year-old gangster facing 100 years in jail for playing himself. Oh my god. I swear to God, some of you motherfucking go hard. See, this is the reason why thugs ain't shit to me. Because a thug is never gonna bang it out on equal terms. Do y'all agree?
For the most part, yeah, I agree.
Most thugs ain't gonna bang it out on equal terms. You're gonna sneak me when I'm in a vulnerable position, but you're not gonna fucking do. But yet, if I catch you the one copping please, like you in front of the fucking the U.S. attorney.
Well, you guys have better laws in the U.S. because I have a cousin that somebody stabbed him and he disarmed the guy and killed him with his own knife, but he actually did time for manslaughter even though it was self-defense.
Dude, you're giving me more reasons never to go to Canada.
Yeah, that's why I've always been telling dudes in space, don't come here and think you're getting better women or better treatment. Like, yeah.
I tell people all the time, I said, look, I'm gonna tell you what. I've always said this. You can tell a good woman on how she raises her daughter. Because mothers back in the day was in reality to their daughters. Stop eating all that shit, you're getting fat. Learn how to cook, no man gonna want you. Learn how to cross your legs. Yeah, they got better health care, but hey. I mean, but there used to be shame. Now, because all these bitches are trying to compete with young bitches, they're giving them nothing but horrible advice, keeping them out of relationships because they try to get your man. She failed at getting her generation a man. Oh, you want to mess with them young chicks? Goddamn right. Because ain't nobody trying to drive a fucking 79 Pinto with rust in the bottom.
Yeah, and going back to what you said about Maya's, like, yeah, like there was a chick I was like on the back burner that I have that like she tried to send me like a picture of Maya, like, oh, Maya still got it. I'm like, bruh. Like, what are we talking about right now?
Still got it for a bitch her age,
Yeah.
but not for like somebody who's 21. I mean, I would ask a chick like this: how many NFL teams are trying to get a 41-year-old running back?
Exactly.
How many? I don't give a fuck if you're trying to get LeBron now. That's still a bad bet on the long-term scale.
I was just hearing LeBron's about to retire.
Exactly. I don't care how good he's playing at his age. That's still a good bet. That's still not a good bet. So if I'm not going to get a fucking athlete past their physical prime, why would I want a woman past my physical prime, especially if I'm 40? I don't want a 40-year-old woman. If I took all this time to be a doctor, lawyer, whatever, and you're 40, you're gonna go for a fucking 27-year-old woman to have children with because you know good and goddamn well that woman who's 40 is gonna cost you an arm and a leg to get her pregnant if she could in the first place. But you know what? So many of these chicks got abortions that their fucking insides look like a scraped wall after you got the crayons off the wall. Just scrape the fuck up. Look like a hole in the wall. You just have to put the fucking plaster over. And then you gotta sand it to make it look good. The fucking audacity and nerve. Come on now. And then the saddest part about this shit is that when you go ahead and you tell these chicks, the more feminine, the more shape, the more docile, the nicer you are, the better chances you will have, even in your older age. But no, you want to act like you the baddest bitch on earth. You're bad in the sense of horrible. You know what? Some of these chicks' wombs look like project steps. You know, atomic. If you ever look on the side of the projects, right? Especially in places like Baltimore, New York, and shit like that on the East Coast, right? The projects were built in such a way that they were actually bomb shelters. Did y'all know that?
I didn't know that. That's fucked up.
You in some of those old project buildings, you can see the signs. They were made to withstand nuclear attacks.
That's actually interesting because, like, at least for like the hoods here, like,
your old schools, like the old schools, because most of our older schools, with the exception of City, Lake used to be they had the signs of Lake, definitely up Lombard before they tore that shit down. Old Dunbar before they remodeled that. Those were your schools. Those old schools on the East Coast, especially in Baltimore and New York, were bomb shelters. You're fucking goddamn. Why do you think you had so much fucking lead in some of those fucking projects? They could withstand the fucking radiation. That's how much lead was in the motherfuckers. So you're telling me your kids are so destructive they could fuck up project steps? I am out.
So the reason why I said that was interesting to me because
you got bitches' wombs that look like cracked project steps. She ain't having no babies. Go ahead, Andre.
Yeah, I was gonna say the reason why I said that was interesting because like the main and the like oldest hoods here, like they used to be home to people that were ex-military. So that's interesting that you said that because I didn't know about that.
A lot of those schools, a lot of those places were bomb shelters. Some of your old churches, if they're old enough, were bomb shelters. They could withstand blasts. So that's why do you think all them lead when after the fall of the Soviet Union, right? Why do you think all that lead shit became prominent with children when they found out? Oh, no wonder y'all could withstand a fucking nuclear radiation and shit because you had lead all through the fucking houses. So,
And
so when you look at it back, a lot of shit we thought was great was actually killing and mentally retarding the kids. And it's crazy because when you look at the projects, right, you have basically a coven of women. And usually with a women, you would think shit would be nicer. But no, when you look at the projects, because my mom taught me no matter where you live in the hood, you can make it a home. Think about it. These chicks are not of the same ilk because their kids are mighty fucking destructive.
I think one of the funniest things that you've said to me, Charles, was when I told you that, like in terms of like just playing Call of Duty. I told you that the best players are from like New York and Cali, and you said yeah because they're efficient in small arms.
Well, yeah, fishing and fall. That's why I was so good at going to the army. The first thing my drill sergeant said, "Oh, you from Baltimore? You already efficient in small arms before you even before 12." I was like, "Damn, that's kind of true for a lot of kids." I mean, think about it. The '80s was the last generation to see two-parent homes on a regular. Now, marriage is such a depleted fucking uranium. It's sad where you rather see these chicks have babies but then complain about why doesn't he take care of his child? Well, number one, you didn't guarantee him to take care of that child, which is called marriage. You silly fucking rabbit. Dicks are for tricks. You don't understand that. Here's the impossible part about it. You got 33 ways to prevent pregnancy, but you still fuck niggas raw without any cover. And then you got the audacity that I stopped my niece dead in her tracks when she tried to come. I said, you and that motherfucker need to fucking work together because you decided to have the babies. That's the biggest argument you could put against a woman when she complains about baby daddy. Sex has been ordained in this country and in the Western world in whole that it's your body, your choice. So guess what? My wallet, my money. Fuck you. If you don't marry that motherfucker, you're not entitled to shit. You think Trump is bad? You worrying about Project 2025? No, I don't think you should get child support unless you were married. Just like I don't think baby showers should be given unless you're married. What am I going to celebrate failure?
Yeah, BGS and other people have spoken on that's what child support was for. It's originally for white people that were abandoning their children. You
Yeah,
know,
that's a white man's issue, not a black man's issue. See, one thing about black women, and I'm gonna separate them from everybody else. They enjoy victimization and suffering like it's an Olympic fucking sport. And they always trying to strive for gold. Like, look, when you find out the original baby daddy is white, notice they don't put white boys on child support, do they? You have 1 million to 1.2 million kids outside of fucking black men siring them. Do you put them niggas on child support? They ain't gonna put no motherfucking essay or no motherfucking white boy, no Brad on child support. And for the few of you, y'all ain't putting them Asian men on child support. And guess what? When they go, they're never gonna fully be accepted by that family. Sorry.
there was actually a recent thing that I seen. It was talking about like it was mostly white men from the UK that went to Africa, like military white men from the UK that went to Africa, and they had a whole bunch of kids there, and they fucked off, and like the UK government apparently was like trying to like help the kids get their citizenship since they were sired by people from their country.
I mean, look what China did in Africa. Have all these
Yeah.
African and Chinese babies, and what the Chinese men do? Go right back home. And now these bitches looking stupid. And here comes, why won't the African man marry me? Because you gave your pussy out to niggas who ain't give a fuck about you. And see, that's another caveat.
Yeah, by the way, my grandfather's Chinese.
Yeah. That's a caveat. A lot of them Chinese men in Africa was fucking off. They had the baby, but then here's the crazy part. When that Asian man is gonna fucking envelop that kid in Chinese culture so they could get a fucking foothold in Africa, and then all these light-skinned half Chinese fucking kids are gonna be propped up into the fucking middle class over their the full African kids, and guess what they're gonna do? Colonization 2.0. I saw two separate chicks popped up pregnant by these cheddar bobs and haven't seen them since, except for one photo at the baby shower, if that. They end up win free, but you gotta fight. Exactly. They're not putting them white boys on no damn child support. Let's keep it a buck, man. You know, let's keep it a fucking buck. This is the reason why. This is the reason why I'm surprised Frank Castle isn't black. A black man got more of a reason to go Punisher than even Frank Castle at this point.
Frank Castle is a black man. They
Right?
just don't want to like portray him as that, but he's definitely like his best friend's a black man. Come on. Like Curtis.
Yeah.
Like,
And I mean, you gotta look at it. You telling me how many black men go out to work morning, noon, and night? What's up, neighbor? How many black men go out morning, noon, and night to take care of a family just to find out the bitch fucking around on you? Just to find out your kids don't respect you. Just to find out your boss want to let you go so he can get his nephew in your spot. And then make the audacity you got to train that dumb motherfucker. And the only reason motherfuckers want you back in all of those situations I just named is because they cannot find somebody to replace you. When a man leaves a woman, he misses the beautiful thing he had with her. When a woman leaves a man and want to get back, is because she never was able to replace you.
so one of the things that I learned from the space, like it was it was talking about the fact that the CDC put out the report that black men are actually the best fathers overall.
I'm gonna answer that statement. The same rights they were scared to fight for themselves. The same rights they were scared to fight for themselves. You think the Irish and the Italians were considered fucking white? No. You think the Asians were get ahead? No. So you got to respect the fucking rights y'all weren't even bold enough to fight for. If anything, and I mean everything, you should be thanking black people because you wouldn't have won one war without them. Tell me this, Namer, and I'll give you this question back. Tell me one American war that they won without black people. And then you'll get the answer. What rights do white people have to respect?
And Hood, Charles, like over on like Hood shit, like I have roasted white people over there before. I'm like, you guys aren't even like white. You guys are random European white. Like you ain't considered white in America. Like
white in America was white Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Yeah.
Okay. Catholics An Irish Catholic was not considered white. Hell, the Italians were not considered white because guess who was dipping in their pool? The Moors. Okay, the Greeks. You wonder why the Greeks have tans? Where were they dipping in? Northern Africa was dipping in their fucking shorts. And if you think, and I had to correct one of my boys in Iraq about this, if you think the fucking Arabs were the original Egyptians, I'm gonna fucking put gasoline and kerosene in my shit, and I'm gonna slap sparks out of your ass. I'm gonna slap a whole campfire. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a LA smoke fest out of your ass. How hard I'm gonna smack. So when I look at it, every fucking thing a black man says or does ought to be respected because you wouldn't have won shit without us. If anything, history dictates this shit, fools. The only reason you won wars is when y'all made black men good into them or black men volunteer into them. See, people don't talk about the D-Day shit with black men. They don't talk about sending black people to the worst concentration camps. Why do you think when I wrestled over Germany, they celebrated men called the liberators? Motherfucking black men were the Avengers before the Avengers. You were the Justice League before the Justice League. Charles, who were the Greeks teachers when it came to mathematics? Egypt. So you got it. They are the Orthodox. But you got to understand something. Greeks were babies. Socrates was a baby compared to the motherfuckers in Egypt.
Yeah,
Kemet,
actually,
yeah.
He even admitted it. He admitted it.
Yeah, I actually posted a link over on BGS's Patreon. I posted a link. It was like that 4,000 years of history map from like 1931. I posted on BGS's Patreon.
Let me put it to you this way. How long have black people been on Earth?
I'm not sure about the answer, but I'm curious.
Roughly 3 billion years.
The original humans were black. You didn't see white people start appear until like some
How long?
20,000 years.
How long have white people been on Earth?
Roughly 20,000 years.
What the fuck is 20,000 years compared to 3 mil?
I mean, how long did it take?
A drop in a bucket. A drop in the bucket. And we're talking about Homo sapiens sapiens here, folks. We're not talking about just other species like Neanderthal and whatnot.
Even Neanderthals couldn't outfox Homo sapiens. Do you know what Germans called black men, black people? The same thing we call the mutants and X-Men. Homo sapiens superior. Neo Homo sapiens superior. Everything about you is so fucking advanced. Think about it. You survived Spanish flu. You survived COVID. You survived all these fucking diseases. You literally can work sun up and sun down in the goddamn sun. And tell me, how many black people in Africa to this day got skin cancer?
Extremely rare, and the only time you're going to see it present on the person is either on the palm of his hands or the soles of his feet, which are the least melanated on a black person's anatomy.
So think about that.
Not to mention, black people have always been inventing sunscreens. We've had ways to protect our skin and everything.
Guess what sunscreen is? When you look under a UV light. When you put sunscreen on a fucking white person, what do they look like on the UV cameras?
They
look like black people. That's what sunscreen makes you look like under UV.
Yeah, but let's not forget, Black people have been using what, shea butter and cocoa butter for centuries. No,
But
for
black,
millennials.
but black people's sunscreen is the goddamn skin God blessed you with.
Yeah, the melanin.
So here's the thing: when white people come over to Africa, they can only stand there for a few weeks.
At a time, especially considering they're not adjusted to the climate and everything that goes with it, or the diseases.
Just like when people told me in Colorado, "Hey, you got to put some sunscreen on." You know what I told them white boys? I said,
What?
God loves me because mine's came biologically. I said, well, like, what do you mean? You know, you could get sunburned. How about 3 million
No,
years of
no, you
Africa?
can't go. But you can get heat stroke if you're not careful, though.
You
If
can
you
get
don't get stay hydrated.
well, heat stroke is from hydration. Okay,
Hmm.
I said that's
But not
not the
sunburns.
sunburn. I said, first of all,
Mm.
we're like Kryptonians. We get darker, we get stronger. That's only stupid ass westernized black folks to say, "Oh, I'm getting blacker." Yeah, you're getting more beautiful, you dumb motherfucker. You ever seen some of the most beautiful supermodels in the world? They're
Yeah.
dark black. They're damn near onyx. You almost want to eat their skin. They're so beautiful.
Hey, certain places I get darker, certain places I get lighter.
Yeah. And this is the craziest part.
Hmm.
Let we let we let ethnocentristic European science tell us something that was millions of years ago.
No. However, in my case, for those of us who are going through depigmentation against our will, we got to be extra careful when we go out and about.
Don't forget to blame racism.
Oh, that too. Actually, well, in my case, here's the fucked up part about that. White people hate the fact that there are parts of me that are whiter than them.
Yeah. And see, here's the craziness about it. No matter how much your skin may go through vitiligo,
Hmm.
they're still scared that if you mess with their women, that baby's gonna be blacker than the ace of spades.
You know what's even scarier? As Eddie Griffin once said, two black people can get together and produce a white person. It's called an albino.
Mm-hmm.
You've never seen two white people come together and have a black baby called a nigga I know.
Why do you think? Why do you think? Usually it's called a nigga. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Why do you think? God rest her soul, Dr. Francis West Crossley said, genetic annihilation. That's why they feared the black penis. The black penis is the most feared thing in the Western world. Why? Because you send 50 black men to Europe in 50 years, that country will be brown. In 100 years, that country will be black. Here's the crazy thing. In order to annihilate black people, you have to kill us. All we have to do is reproduce. And that stings like a motherfucker. Even if you go with a black woman, them black features are going to show.
You know how superior we are in a sense? Look at babies. A black child can hold his head up by the time he's a month old.
Mm-hmm.
A white baby cannot hold his head up until she's about 3 months old.
Mm-hmm. And look at the grip of a black baby.
I've held plenty of black babies, so I know how strong they are.
And the black baby's grip feel like it could crush steel, can't it? Like when you
There was this Nigerian woman I knew, nice lady. She had an infant son who was about like 8 months old. That little motherfucker had a grip on him.
Mm-hmm. I remember when Peanut was born. Well, he was about a month or two old, and I gave my fingers, man. He just, I was like, Jesus Christ. You sure? What the fuck you ate when you had him in the womb? I don't know. I'm like, motherfucker ate kryptonite and Wheaties. God damn, this
Let me
motherfucker.
ask you something. This is a very important question because relative to what I'm about to say. His mother, when y'all got together, and Peanut, I'm not being disrespectful to your mom when I say this, but bitch had a fat ass, didn't she?
Nah, big titty. She never had an ass. Big old titty.
Yeah. Oh, she was top head. You a titty man?
Oh no, I'm an ass man.
You an ass man?
That's why I'm glad I didn't have a daughter.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. Alexa, play Ass Man by Mr. Ass.
Go
Because
ahead.
that's one of the greatest. That's one of the greatest songs ever, my dude.
I'm gonna tell you what's so funny about Angie, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
There's a reason why no bitches ever stepped to Angie. Angie had fists like BJ Penn. And BJ Penn just have naturally heavy hands. Like even when
Yeah.
Angie's joking and she might, just hit you just playing, and you be like, bitch, that hurt. Like, god damn. Like, I would not I would have to stop Angie from fighting a chick. Because number one, I would know that she would break something because her hands are just naturally that heavy and fast.
How
So,
athletic? How athletic is she? What was she like prior to having Peanut? Was she an athlete?
huh?
Was she an athlete?
No,
Was she was she athletic or anything like that, or just just
somewhat.
naturally strong? Okay.
Just naturally strong for her size. I mean, you
Wait a
got
minute. How tall is this woman? What are we talking here?
5'6", 5'7".
5'6", 5'7". What was her father like? Or what is her father like? Excuse me.
I didn't see her father too much. I've seen her stepfather a lot.
Oh, okay, but so she was raised right, but she just didn't, but she didn't think right half the time. All right,
Sometimes
was what was.
sometimes it was hard, and I mean,
It was hard.
you gotta think like, yo, no ass plus no titties plus no ass. If she got ass and
There
titties,
goes top heavy. All
if
right.
she got ass, titties, and
Hmm.
intelligence, and she's cool as shit, guess what? She's a tranny. Check for the dick. If she got common sense, if she cool as fuck, ass and titties, that's a tranny. It's too good to be true. Something got to be wrong with that bitch. So, I'm just giving y'all fair warning. I mean,
I know.
you gotta look at shit. Washington, dude, what's up, man? And I'm like, you gotta look for this shit. And I'll be like, yo, a lot of times when you hear this superiority, like, well,
Hmm.
got to talk about crime statistics. That's why I said, wait a minute. This is how I know they cherry pick motherfuckers when they want to talk about crime. They're not going to put a motherfucker like me on the panel. Oh, if she wants to play Tekken Tag 2 and Marvel vs. Capcom 2 with you, she's a keeper or she's a tranny. I'm sorry. Either she's a keeper
Hmm.
or a tranny. And I'm telling you, I'm sorry. Back in the day, I would believe that's a cool chick, but goddamn, chicks don't even know how to be cool anymore, man. And that's the fucked up part. Because coolness used to be the superpower of a black female. She was cool, not just pretty, but cool. God damn, if you cool,
She got a good head on her shoulders.
or give it head, shit. If that bitch say I want to take you
No,
for
she got a good head on. No, she had a good head on her shoulders. She damn sure gave a good head.
to your shoulders, if a bitch
Hmm.
tells that she wants to take you for a ride, both on Marvel and versus Capcom 2, and then after you play the game, that's a good chick. And it is funny because this is how crazy women are. Women will ask the loneliest chicks how to get a man, but men have the smarts to ask the dudes who get the most pussy? How to get a woman? Mm. Mm.
And that's if the brothers wanted to give you advice. Some would just look at you like, "Go fuck yourself."
And sometimes I look at women and I'll be like, God damn it! If you actually listen for 5 seconds, I'd have married your ass. But it's frightening. It's terrorizingly frightening because one, you're not supposed to lean to your own understanding. That's one. And two, when you listen to your lonely chicks and they always bitter, you're supposed to separate yourself from that because bitterness is a disease. It's like COVID 37, fuck 19. It's designed.
It's that. You know how misery loves company, and what they're gonna do is they're gonna self-sabotage.
Yeah, it's like the joke I told when we had a fellas' night at my boy's apartment, and he was like, "I just want to see my friends married too." I said, "Yeah, because misery likes company, huh?" Everybody
Look, we all don't want the same thing, fam. That's what brothers understand about each other. We all don't necessarily want the same thing. We're gonna look at each other and say, "I want what I want. You want what you want." Just like some of us are Xbox gamers, some of us are PlayStation, some of us are Nintendo, or Wii, or Switch. It is what it is. Everybody has their choice. Some of us like. Some of us, we don't all necessarily have the same taste in liquor, you know. Some of us like that Hennessy. Some of us like that Grey Goose.
Yeah, it's like.
And wait, to quote Snowman. Some of y'all like that brown liquor. That brown liquor.
You know.
But go ahead.
I'm tired of you Negroes and your fucking Hennessy.
What, you a Jack man?
That's how
you're a Jack Daniels kind of guy.
At least get some.
I don't drink whiskey. Ew.
That's a funny thing because I know where I'm from, people love whiskey. I'm glad I don't drink.
Cowboy. That's cowboy shit. I don't drink no cowboy juice.
You a gin cat then?
Dog, yo, like black people ran Hennessy in a fucking hole in the fucking 90s.
Hennessy, don't forget. Hey, remember there was a song called Pastor Cavassier. Some cats like that Cavassier.
Bro, every house you went in had an empty bottle of Hennessy in that motherfucker.
Now motherfuckers turn Casamigos out.
Hey, some guys like Patron. Some guys like, other types of,
I'll take Patron over whiskey any day.
Good. Okay. Go for you.
I saw a guy once got drunk and he went to sleep in a chair and his sister rubbed some Vicks Vapor Rub on his upper lip. And he threw up black shit, yo. That just completely turned me off from dark liquor. Like he woke right about his sleep and threw up, and it was black.
Was it like he threw up blood? Was it?
No, he just it looked like just black. Yeah, like because he was drinking Hennessy.
Oh, you know right, because with the stomach acid and everything, the chemical reaction. Yeah, I get it. All right.
And it just completely turned me off. I don't do none of that brown shit at all. None of it.
You don't fuck with that brown liquor.
God.
He said, fuck that.
Oh, man. Yo, I remember, what was it like? I remember I went to a house party once. Me and my younger brother, right? And my brother, my dad had a couple of bottles of Hennessy locked away. And each person is supposed to bring, a certain type of drink, liquor to this party, whatnot. He brought the Hennessy, and oh my God, halfway through the party, that shit, half of it was empty. And I looked at him and, what the fuck are you thinking? bringing that shit. Now we gotta answer to the old man because we gotta go to the duty free because we gotta go to the near local duty free, and that costs a lot of shit, man. That costs, man.
See, I tell a lot of black people, man, if you're gonna go cognac, go at least Martell. At least Martell. God damn. Kind of broaden your horizons in cognac because I think Martell's a better cognac. Personally, but you can't bring black people out of their norms, man.
Just like Nigerians and West Africans, they love palm wine. They love palm wine. Just like they got their own spirits. Like Caribbean cats, they love rum.
Mm. Oh yeah, that partying bullshit, right? Partying bullshit. I'll tell you one thing. I love my cognacs and my brandies and my whiskeys. It's hard for me to drink tequilas because the shit just makes me sweat.
Fair enough.
It's like, God damn, what the fuck is this shit? That moonshine, boy, god damn. I don't know how you Negroes survive though for that shit. God
shit. Y'all would, you know what? Y'all would. I mean, considering where I'm from. Yeah.
I drink vodka like
what's
a
your brand?
Smirnoff.
Smirnoff, or you ever tried Absolute?
Yeah, I've tried Absolute.
Yeah, that's that Swedish
vodka. You know why I say Smirnoff? Because it's fucking cheap.
Yeah.
It's very affordable for you, comrade. It's very affordable for you.
I drink cheap vodka like a civilized adult. I don't go spend Belvedere money like Belvedere and all that. Like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not paying that much money for that shit.
Mm-hmm.
There's no taste difference.
Well, you're going to get the same result.
Yeah. Like, there's no taste difference.
I tell people,
fair enough.
Jamaican rum. I don't mind Jamaican rum, spice rum, but shit. I mean, it's kind of funny because I'm one of the dudes. I don't mind a good drink with a good cigar, but I can't stand a motherfucker who just is an uncomfortable drunk. Like, you just make me want to stop drinking for a year because you're that uncomfortable with your liquor.
What, the crybabies?
Yeah.
Or the mean drunks?
The crybabies, the mean drunks, you just make me feel just uncomfortable being around you. I'm like, God damn. Fuck you crying for, nigga.
This motherfucker hey, this is why I don't like, going. This is why I don't go out much.
I love you,
man. They get drunk and then start getting sentimental and shit. Yeah.
I love you, man. You know I love you, man. I love you too, man. Such a God damn you.
What was it like? Robin Williams had the first impressions of them, like, oh, poor me. Poor me. Poor me. Another drink.
The mean drunks, so you just automatically start wanting to fuss and argue and shit. Lord.
Yeah.
Think they could take the whole.
Oh, I knew some cats who were mean drunks, and that's why I was like, I ain't with that shit. That's why I don't hang out with certain cats.
You know what I'm saying? All that shit. Like, nah, that's no.
Like, yo, get your friend out the way. And then the sad part about it is, then you got the pissy drunks. Oh
yeah.
Like,
I know this motherfucker throw up drunk. Like, you throw up in my car, I'm gonna deck your ass.
Oh, I hate anybody who allows themselves to get that drunk. It's one thing to Earl. I'm not mad about that, but when you passed out and shit, somebody got to fucking drag you to the car and all that bullshit. I just don't get it. I don't understand how you get to that point. Like, you got problems, bro.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like I thought
or
that.
sis,
I mean,
especially when it's a
women. With the
woman.
women. Yeah. Oh, with the women, you know
You
what
a
they say about
woman
what
and you
women say
allow
about women.
yourself to get like that?
Yeah.
Yo, the wildest shit, the craziest shit I can say is this. A woman will tell you her best friend is her best friend for one particular reason. This is the woman who's gonna help her, who's gonna hold her hair up when she's head first in the porcelain basket in the porcelain bat and bowl. When she's in the bathroom just hurling in the toilet, that's the friend who's holding her hair up and like, I got you, I got you, I got you.
But you use the best friend to keep her from getting that damn drunk in the first place.
Yeah.
That's the part. That's the part that kills me. Is like, yo, control your bitch, man. God damn.
Get your girl, yo, get your girl, man. Get your girl, yo. She out of control.
And then
Mhm.
she thinks she the prettiest damn thing. You trying to get this pussy? No, fucking poor, smelling like a goddamn brewery. Oh, I'm sick of that shit, man. That'd be like
Yeah.
when a person like me don't want to drink the rest of the night because you drunk.
And you're
Yeah,
killing the mood, yeah.
like
You're
yeah,
just blowing everybody's buzz, just like that D12 song.
like yeah. You need to stop. Like now the chicks they want to be like they defecating on themselves and shit. I'm like, oh my god.
You know what, Charles? You ain't shit. You think you all big, strong, with all them muscles and everything. But you ain't shit. You ain't nothing but a dark-haired, bald-headed, out of the haze like motherfucker. You ain't. Not my best impressions, but y'all get the point.
Nah, I've actually understood every word of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Funny. That's the
Yeah, I
funny.
know you. I know. I made sure it was clear, but I was just saying, like, not my best impression, but because
That's
I've been around drunk motherfuckers, and that shit makes me uncomfortable just being around people when there's drinking involved.
yeah. That's like
Because
it's like you should be old enough. You should be old enough to know your limits. And I remember one of my exes, she will not be named. She talk about she depressed. We at the Ravens Steelers game, and she earling, and she almost earled on my black and purple Sons of Mar Jordans. She
oh,
was that
that
close.
ain't right.
I had to take her to the porta potty, and we weren't even fucking with each other at the time. Clean her the fuck up. Her so-called friends taking pictures and videos of her, and I'm cussing these bitches out. So I said, "You thinking the motherfucker that took your picture when he's in the fucking picture? How could he take the picture?" I said, "Then on top of that, you need to really question your friends because they were talking about leaving you in the car. That's all we need you to do is lean the wrong way and you choke on your vomit and you're dead." I said, hell no. I actually held her, and Shorty's about a good 170. So imagine holding 170, almost dead weight to your hip, making it look like putting sunglasses on her that she could walk,
Mm-hmm.
and putting her helping her walk. That lets you know how strong I am to put you on my hip and make you walk. It's almost like doing
Shit.
it's almost like doing judo practice up stadium steps. She hurled in the stadium too, by the way.
Oh,
I had to give her this nice white lady, gave her a couple of bottles of water, and I gave her my Ravens towel to clean herself up again. I said, bitch, you better wash that shit thoroughly before you give it back to me. And then she had an attitude about it, and I had to cuss her ass out at the front desk. I said, look, Shorty, you're going to learn this lesson in life. You could take that mean bitch shit somewhere else. It doesn't matter to me because I grew up with a black mother, unlike you. I said, first and foremost, you need to be thankful for a motherfucker looking you out. Your friends, even though we didn't fuck with each other at that moment, your friends was happy enough for a man to take you in the porta potty. I could have done anything to you. They didn't even take the wherewithal to fucking clean you up. I could have been in the porta potty just having my time with you and nobody would know. But yet,
Fuck around, catch a case.
but yet,
Mm-hmm.
taking pictures of you. So I would really question your so-called friends, and I would talk to them first. She apologized.
I remember. Oh, go ahead.
She apologized eventually. So fuck your apology now.
Yeah.
You could have said when it was sincere. When I gave a fuck.
I remember a situation once. It was here in Norway. I was hanging out with a friend, and this friend is a white woman, obviously. And the scariest thing I got to worry about is like if there's a drunk white woman who starts hitting on me.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I could catch a case on that one. I remember she had a friend, and both of them are switch hitters. Let's not forget, that's the important thing here. The switch hitters. Now, friends buzz, but she's completely coherent. She knows her liquor. She knows her limit. And the friend is like 5'5". But this other friend of hers who was 5'9", she couldn't, really stand right. And so from the spot we were at, we had to get to the central bus station, which was about 3-4 blocks away. And on top of that, this other chick had her boyfriend hanging with his friends, and they were probably getting wasted at a nearby spot. And when I looked at this whole situation, I just looked at my friend and said, "Yo, I think we better call it a night." And she was right to tell me to grab 059, and she was a pog. I'll tell you that one. She was a pog. The 59 one was a pog, and and having to walk her from where we were to the bus stop, to the central bus stop, was about 3-4 blocks, which means we had to pass by a discotheque. And across the street from the discotheque was a squad car that's usually there every Saturday night. Because this one would have like this portable paddy wagon. If they had stopped me, I could have been arrested on suspicion. Fortunately for me, they weren't there, and the street lights were kind of janky at that time, so nobody noticed. And I was able to carry her. All I had to do was because I'm 6'3" and this one was 5'9", I had my waist around her and had one hand holding it, and she was walking okay. My friend had to go get the other chick's boyfriend, and it made sense for her to go get the boyfriend, because if you're a white boy and somebody taps on your shoulder and says it's time to go, who are you going to listen to? A 5'5" brunette with big ass titties, or a 6'3" African with a fro? It's a no-brainer. Titties win over afros. Titties win over afros.
The titties.
Well, she didn't have much of an ass, but she had her thighs to compensate.
Because girl got them titties.
Yeah. Homegirl was built like Angela White. I'll tell you that much. I've told the story to a few people offline. But I remember, was it one white woman I knew? She told me like why people love to get shit faced. Because one, when they like to be inebriated, because when they're inebriated, their inhibitions are down, which means they like to fuck around that time.
Yeah, they got a plausible deniability.
But that plausible deniability goes out the window if you can make them come right, because apparently orgasms are much stronger when they're drunk.
Trust me, I wouldn't know anything about that.
I would.
I'm lying.
I wouldn't. I don't blame you. I've had conversations like this with a lot of people. They'd be like, just because
I just be
Just how
like,
I talk to them, just like, all right.
I'll just be like, yo, do you really like being like this?
Mhm. I was like asking, what's your drinking what's your drinking choice? That
Yeah.
tells you a lot about them.
One thing I could never get into is a
Mhm.
bitch who drunk beer or malt liquor. When she taking Corona bottles out her purse, I'm like, oh shit. Like, what type
I
of
look at
fuck?
a lot of people here sideways when they put lime in their Coronas. I said, do you know why people in Mexico put limes in their Corona?
It's fashionable. No,
Well, it's trendy. No, they put limes in their Coronas just to keep the flies out of there.
mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry. I mean, up here in the summer, you may have to worry about fruit flies and whatnot, but it's not going to work with them.
It's like niggas who lift weights with gloves. You got a matching purse for those set of gloves. Yes.
Hey, some guys were. Some guy. Hey, if you've been a professional bodybuilder or in that, some of them would prefer to wear gloves. Because remember, bodybuilding is a beauty sport.
Oh yeah. Me personally, you go clanging and banging. They be like,
Clanging and banging.
Your fingers are blistered up. That means I've done some work.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to work. Work.
Just like OG football players would say, like, this generation, these past few generations are soft because they all like to wear gloves and everything.
Go to work.
Now the gloves are there for a reason. Got to put in that work.
I mean, work. I mean, think of how many great fucking catches you had without a fucking pair of gloves. In the snow, in the rain, hands like glue.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, greatness upon greatness. That's
Running backs too.
Running back, you had to have the grip of God, man. You just had to
like Jim Brown.
Yeah, Jim Brown looked like you said I could hit these white boys. Yeah.
Give me the ball.
Oh yeah, let's talk about how much you're gonna get paid. Wait a minute, I get paid too? Blessed be God. I mean, he looked
What's his name? Earl Campbell and all them.
Oh, Earl Campbell is the only time you could call a man a silverback and it's a compliment. That motherfucker.
Mark Henry had a point about don't ever call him a silverback. He will fuck you up.
Mark Henry got a lot of anger issues. I'm glad he's nicer now, but he took a lot of things personal.
Oh, he hated getting ribbed, and he didn't take kindly to it because he didn't understand. Like, oh, you want to play with me?
Like,
you want to get the big. You know what? It was Eddie Guerrero who taught him about who had to give him a heart to heart about what he was doing. Because Eddie understood. For Eddie, Chris Benoit, they had him look in the mirror, and they convinced him, dude, given your size and everything, you are not a face. You are a heel. You're a natural heel. We've seen that dark side of you, man. If you just if you learn how to hone it and channel it in the ring, we'd be making some serious money, man. Because you a heel.
What do you think they gave him to run with the belt?
Yeah. That topped it off. I've been doing this for 15 years.
Anybody, anytime that, I was gonna make a joke.
Even Ric Flair sat him down and said, "Big man, you are a heel. Stop trying. I know you're a fun-loving guy, in real life and everything, but you are a natural heel."
It's like if I got into pro wrestling right now,
could
you really see me being a face?
Nah.
Because I got a natural asshole about me. I'm a natural asshole.
Don't you a
What?
natural asshole?
I would
You put me in the ring. I know. I'd be at ringside.
and I eventually would probably become a face, but I think I would have to start off as a heel. Why? Because
Well,
too many things going against me. One,
hmm?
tell people he a cop, most people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, he's a cop. He was a cop." The only thing
Fuck
that
the police. You go here. You gonna fight? Come out to the ring to NWA's fuck the police.
oh no, I would purposely come out with Frankie Beverly. I'll be having a fucking crowd grooving with me. Feel that you're feeling. Yeah, white people follow the black people. Feel that you're feeling. Just arrogant as shit. Because if you ever notice, when black people hear maize, boy, they walk a little arrogant in America, boy.
Uh,
Yeah, like yeah. Well, tell me y'all white people can make this. And no, 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 no. You can't. And Bobby Caldwell don't count. That's a light skinned man.
no, he ain't light skin. He albino.
Albino. He black. Oh man. Oh man. Boy, when you in your 30s and you found out this motherfucker was white, like I was today years old.
Everybody lost their shit.
Go ahead, white boy. You go ahead. See, that's the one thing about being black. If you do something that surprised the fuck out of black people and you're not black, they be like, "Go ahead, little Spanish boy. Go ahead. Like,
Like all them breakers back in the day.
Who gave a lot of, it's funny, right? For black people to be the site of Asian hate. The first people to get black, black, like Bruce Lee's first student was black.
Yeah, which is absurd. But Charles, this is where we have to fight the narratives, because this is battle. This is not about the truth. This is or the reality of the world. It's the narrative that's being pushed.
Yeah, it's that's why you got to come with truth, because truth doesn't need a bodyguard. It's very well capable. I said, first of all, number one, if you notice, all the martial arts schools that started in the 60s and the 70s started where and what communities?
In the black neighborhoods.
So we gave a lot of love. Even Bruce talked about how much love he got from the black community. I mean, shit. God damn. Like even if
one of his favorite actors he loved to work with, he had a good rapport with, was Jim Kelly.
Mm-hmm. Like,
There's a reason he worked with Kareem, because I was one of his students at one time.
Yeah, just like Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris got nothing but love for black people. Nothing but love for
love and respect. Respect as well.
Respect. And he always said there is no way you grew up in a black household and you had a grandmother or grandfather that did not watch Walker Texas Ranger, because I watched it faithfully myself.
So did I.
Fucking one of my favorite martial arts movies is the fucking Octagon. Like, come on now. Like, you're telling me, and people notice you don't hear no controversy about Chuck.
Chuck Norris knew one of the most important things you learn from martial arts is respect for yourself and respect for other people. Chuck Norris was an upright man, was a stand-up guy.
Yeah, he's that's the world really felt sad when he passed, because like you said, when you gone are the days of just stand-up men. I swear to God, man, feminism, fuck you to forever and a day. Because
some of us are stand-up men, but we also understood, especially considering a lot of us have to understand how to be righteous in our actions, but we also have to be very covert about certain things, because the world is not as black and white anymore as it was before.
Yeah, and the saddest part about that is what has been once is starting to turn again because the world is starting to become black and white again. And here's
Mhm.
my thing. You know what's so beautiful about Trump's second term is that now everybody gets to be a nigga.
It's the pendulum swing, my dude. It is the pendulum swing.
And it you better say something maybe,
I'm with you, though.
and I said this. The reason why I like it is because when you took DEI out of that,
Mhm.
you white bitches lost your invulnerability. And now they're giving the jobs back to men, and particularly black men for skills. Oh, I love it. Because now you need us more than ever to do what black men have done traditionally in America since its inception. Save your asses again. Go ahead, Adrian.
I want to say two things. Number one, Chuck Norris. The reason why people had so much respect for him is because there was no asterisk next to his name.
Mm-hmm.
He was a real life martial artist.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
No gimmicks, none of that crap. You know what I mean? A lot of those Asian people, they go to the Asian ballet.
Yeah.
They don't really know martial arts like you might think. Jackie Chan is not a real
No,
martial artist. Jet Li is not a
no.
real martial artist.
See,
Bolo was.
I'm gonna tell you.
Bolo Young. Oh, he was a bad motherfucker in
I'm
his
gonna say
day.
this. I'm gonna say this. This is the only thing I say. They were real martial artists, but they weren't real fighters like Chuck was.
No,
Well,
Chuck had
that's what
ability to
I'm saying.
compete. Was yeah, he competed in a couple of karate tournaments. He had competed in in karate.
Chuck Norris was a world champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a multiple time world champion.
Matter of fact,
Mhm.
this
Like
is
even Bruce Lee didn't really fight.
no. This is Chuck Norris full.
Oh no! Wait! Hold up a second. I gotta. No, on the streets of Hong Kong, they had gang fights and shit. So he knew how to fight.
That's a
That's a
lot
different thing. But we talking about
I'm talking
competitive
about
competing
in
in.
competitions.
that's a
Bruce Lee
Yeah, he
did
didn't. No, he didn't do competitive. No, he didn't. You're right.
he did some things competitive, but it wasn't fighting.
no. Let me
Mhm.
put it to you this way. This is Chuck Norris's fucking record, right? Full contact karate and kickboxing. 183 wins, 10 losses, and 2 draws, 6-time undefeated world professional middleweight karate champion.
Mhm.
He was from 68 to 74. Matter of fact, it's also noted that some historical tournaments records additionally have a note confirming the mark of 65 wins, 5 losses prior to his title reign.
Mhm.
So Chuck been in some scrap. See, the thing is that you could be a martial artist and you could be a fighter, and sometimes you got people who are both, but it's rare.
Yeah.
Like Anderson Silva, GSP, they're martial artists and they're fighters. Chuck is a
Mhm.
martial artist and a fighter. So you will never hear anybody not talk about Chuck was not legitimate. No, anybody who followed him, Chuck would knock you the fuck out. And Chuck fought the murderous row. Joe Louis, Bill Superfoot Wallace, Victor Moore, who beat all the fucking great heavy black man who beat all the greatest fucking white karate artists. So he went through the murderous row of
Karatekas, as they called Japanese. But yeah,
I can tell you,
he was legit.
Now, the other point, to your point, when you was talking about Trump in the second term, the beautiful thing, in my opinion, about this Trump second term is white folks are realizing that there's never going to be a great white hope.
Nope.
Nobody's coming to rescue you, and as much as white folks don't want to admit it, you're in the same damn boat as everybody else now.
Yep.
If you
What did Beatrice say?
if you Google
Mhm.
the amount of men in America that make less than 100,000 a year, it's between 83 and 87%.
Mhm.
the myth of the white man is so fucking great and all that shit is dead.
It's out the
The
window.
days of Happy Days and Leave It to Beaver and you know what I mean, where dad works and mom is a stay home mom and the beautiful white suburbs, that shit is over with. You're junkies. Who's the number one demographic of suicide in America? Middle-aged white men.
Yeah.
In the Midwest,
Your biggest
basically they went from ABM. They went from Happy Day. No, they went from Leave It to Beaver to Shameless. You know the show Shameless?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's middle America right there.
And they're spazzing.
Inner city America. Mm-hmm.
There is no middle America anymore.
Mm-mm.
Like I said, they're junkies. I was bored one night and I was just, you know what I mean? I got on YouTube and I typed in fishing in Montana. The first video that popped up was about the drug epidemic in Montana. This fentanyl abuse in Montana.
Because fentanyl.
I was
Fucking
about to bring that
Montana
up,
for crying
actually.
out loud.
Yo, I was about to bring that up because who are the biggest demographic affected by oxycodone? It's not black people. Which demographic is dealing with painkiller addiction? Which demographic is also having and developing dependencies on things like what's that ADHD medication? Some people always talk about Adderall.
Like,
Dude, they turn anything into a fucking drug. Like, this is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So Trump was supposed to be their savior and to bring those days back, and they see now that Trump is just another politician. And I was telling black people, Trump ain't nothing but another damn white man in the White House. I'm sick of niggas with all this. We gonna be back in slavery, bro. It's over. It's over, and this is why you got these people spazzing the fuck out like this Chud character. These people are losing their fucking minds because they see the writing on the wall now, and there's nothing they can do to stop it.
It's too little, too late. They had a chance to do what needed to be done, but they just said, nah, they prefer to kick the can.
It's like SWP said, you can't seek how your way out of this shit. Nah, you're just, I mean, look, the corporations, the billionaires, they don't want you to have shit. They don't want to pay you. They're putting everybody out of work.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
you outsourcing the jobs in places,
you are about to be a nigga now.
mm-hmm.
And all of this is your system. You can blame the darkies if you want, but this is all your system. You created this shit. You talk about feminism. That's some shit you allowed your woman to go make. You've had all of these years to put a stop to it. You didn't bother because just like the drug epidemic, you didn't mind it as long as it affected niggas. Now that shit is out there in the burbs. Now the drugs is out in the burb. Now, no, you don't get no sympathy. Throw that fucking boy in jail. Throw that little white boy in jail like you do everybody else. And that's what the criminal justice system is doing. There's not really a huge gap between black men and white men when it comes to prisoners in America no more.
Nope.
Percentage-wise, it's not really a huge gap like it used to be.
To your point, ABM, think about this. And I remember it was Dave Chappelle said this back in 2017, back in Trump's first term. Because he lives in Ohio. He lives in the Midwest, so he's seen this shit firsthand. He talked about how, he went to the polling stations, right? And got in line with all the Ohio folks. And he was hearing all that dumb shit. Some of them saying, like, Donald Trump's is looking out for us, do this, that, and the third. He's gonna clean up Washington. And it's like, you stupid morons. You are poor. He's looking out for rich folks. Like me. He claims to be a champion of the people, but no, he is uppity snob, my dudes. No, he's not a snob. He's just like, he is a con artist. He is for the rich. He may present himself as being somebody who's willing to have a beer with you, but then again, he doesn't drink. But that is the art of, that's what the facade is all about.
Mm-hmm.
Most people just, that's the thing about politicians. It's all about the presentation, but there's no substance. And then you let certain celebrities go out there and endorse these people. I mean, prime example was like when, if you guys remember those guys from Duck Dynasty, the patriarch of that group, Phil Robertson. A lot of people, started following his lead because they loved Duck Dynasty, and they started voting for Ted Cruz. And he actually did support Ted Cruz. You know who's also a registered Republican who was endorsing Ted Cruz? And this was a shocker to a lot of people, and that was Caitlyn Jenner. Because remember one moment they were like, yeah, oh, she's brave and everything like that because she came out as a trans, but when they found out this motherfucker is a registered Republican and endorsed, that goofball psychopath. Oh, it was night and day.
I'll tell you, because you got to look at the whole scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the so-called whiteness, all I see is a bunch of habitual drug addicts.
Look at people who were dependent on, like I said, the painkillers back in the 90s before they knew how dangerous it was, because nobody had the foresight to look at this and go like, this might come back to bite us in the ass. Oh no, they were too caught up in just shitting on black folks because black folks were dealing with with the tail end of the crack epidemic.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, you got to think about it because black people had to be treated like criminals, but now you got to treat this shit like a sickness. I said no.
It's an addiction. They need rehab.
No.
Where was that for black people? You just said no. If this was Chicago, they were telling, we got to take them to a rehab. We got to take them to Springfield, where there's a rehab facility for a white person. Put a black person on crack? No, it's taken to Cook County.
Mm.
This was NYC. They'd be saying he better lock him up in Rikers. He needs to get, instead of taking to a rehab facility, maybe in upstate New York or out of state.
Yep.
And speaking of like painkillers, because Charles, you and I, we're both professionals. We're pro wrestling fans. Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Kurt.
How much he did. Kurt, because people forget. Percocets is an opioid.
That almost killed him. I said you got to remember. That perks. There's a term called Kurt Angle.
Yeah, for a reason. Oh man!
Even though he had some of his greatest matches, but still, you almost killed yourself with that shit. Man,
when you saw him in the ring, but if you were to see what he was like, backstage.
Oh, backstage he was a mess.
After the match, especially. This is why when Mickey Rourke did the movie The Rustler, that was an eye opener for a lot of people. I mean, how many people they were like taping up their knees? They've been like wrecked, where they've had like tough possible ACL surgeries and whatnot. Guys have been doing this, that, and the third. Brock Lesnar talked about he doesn't remember like a whole year or so of his own career of his first run in WWE because he was like on Percocets. He would and he would down that with vodka. Pill and booze. That's a dangerous combination right there.
Very much so.
Oh man. So, I mean, you know how many times we've seen white folks delete themselves with sleeping pills and booze.
That's when you know that hustle's hard. Shoot.
Uh-huh.
Let me get out of here, folks. Getting tired.
Yeah.
Let's get out of here, folks.
Ooh, yeah. Night, night.
All right.